that out. But anyway, hello,
Sorry, man.
hello, everybody. What's going on? What's going on? My name is Larry,
Seb.
and this is that One Piece talk. We are doing today Sebastian's Davies Dark Tournament, and I know it says we're on episode 9, but we are on episode 10. So thank you to everybody that's joining us today. I know it doesn't seem to be a full Discord from what we can see. Maybe since we changed, we were on a Tuesday, I think, last week. Now we're on a Wednesday. We usually have these Wednesdays, so it happens when like it's not consistent, right? So I just want to say thank you to everybody that watches this and to everybody else that's listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, um, I don't have much to say, man. I think it's up to you. This is your thing.
Bro, you're supposed to like have more to say than that.
I
I'm
think
not
I
used
think I
to.
think you're getting too used to me just like always being super emotional and thankful that I just ramble on for like hours on end. So
hmm But all right, everyone. Welcome to Davies Dark Tournament, the podcast episodes in which we have y'all champion for your favorite combatants and argue power scaling. It's been a really big hit so far for us, so we're going to continue it. We're still in the middle of our duos tournament, and we have a very, very, very interesting matchup coming up in Kaido and Orochi versus Mihawk and Crocodile. We do want to get almost everybody's take on this one. So if you guys really do want to talk about this and give your opinions and who you think is going to win, jump into the Discord general chat, and we'll drag you guys in one by one or in groups to so you guys can argue for your combatants, who you think is going to win, who you got, what diff, and why, as always. And we please ask that you guys stay muted until you're called upon because we don't like to have you guys all talking on top of each other and yelling and stuff. Sometimes it doesn't work too well. But we're really excited for this one. We're almost finished up with the tournament. We only have a few brackets left, as you guys can see on the screen if it's showing. There, you got to hit watch stream, bro.
what do you mean? Oh, my
If you
bad.
hit watch,
My
yeah,
bad. My
you got to hit the
bad,
watch
bro.
stream.
Relax.
Aside, aside. But yeah, it should be a really, really fun matchup. Really fun continuation of the tournament. We already have some people ready to debate in the general chat. I see in the entrance to the den. Again, if you guys really are interested in coming in, jump into the Discord. Mods, please post the link to the Discord for people who haven't joined already. But we have a bunch of people there, so it should be fun for us to have a nice little debate. I'm really curious who people that got in this matchup. I still don't know. I still
Yeah.
don't know who I got. So
Yeah. So shout out to I Show Clips, Villain, Blazer, Strahd, Serial, Ragnar, Jason, Human, Kaizaku. We have Steve, Nurtaku, Pete, Jahim, Dyer, Red Hair Shankdom, Human, 3 Day, what's up? Baby Pluto, Matthew, Anubius. Thank you guys for all joining and talking in the Discord. In the live chat on YouTube. So, uh, I I think I just want to say beforehand, like the Discord has been very, very active, and we've been doing a lot of great things with the Discord, and it's been really popping off. Like we've just been enjoying each other. Listen, please know, when we have discussions, overall, we are not the police. We are people who have made a server for other people to enjoy themselves. With that comes many, many opinions, many, many people's lifestyles intersecting with each other. Sometimes people will cross a line. Sometimes people will say a little too much. Sometimes people will do too much. And it is my job and Sebastian's job and the mods' jobs to handle it professionally. And with professionalism comes a certain type of management. So if somebody walls out, our type of management is we do not publicly embarrass the person and we do not develop a mob mentality, which we seek punishment in front of everybody. That's not how things work. So, with that in mind, we cannot stop somebody from saying anything that is going to be offensive on the spot because we cannot predict the future. We do not have future sight. But the best thing we could do, I have future sight, but the best thing that we can do is handle it after it happens. And with that comes a personal DM. We give warnings and we talk about it with the person. And after it's understood and well done, we go according to how peaceful and loving our culture is. So, with that in mind, please know that I protect everybody in the Discord, and we have mods who are specifically chosen to do the same. So please do not feel that we are covering up people's mistakes, because ultimately they are mistakes. And if they are considered not mistakes, they get banned. And that's just how it works. So our culture is respect each other, don't talk over each other, debate one another. It's not arguments, and also don't be offensive to other people. Okay? That's it. I'm never going to speak about this again. This is the last time. All right? So much love to everybody. Thank you for being here. Remember, when you come in, you are debating. You are not talking over one another. If it gets too crazy, me or Sebastian will tell you, like, listen, one at a time. And that's really it. So, yeah, that's all I have to say, Seb. Had to get it out there, bro. Had to.
Yeah, there was a lot that went down recently, but we don't got to talk about all that here. That was well said and well handled. But yeah, guys, keep it cordial. Be respectful at all times to everybody. Everybody love everybody, as Will Ferrell once said in, I forgot what the hell the name of that movie was, but I like that saying.
Yeah.
But before we get started, we did get a $10 super chat from our guy, Celestial Donkey. It says #Buggy Gang. Thank you so much, Celestial. He's so consistent, man.
Yeah.
Consistent.
CD works incredibly hard too, which makes me feel worse. Thank you, CD. All right, so
thank you so much.
Let's start this up, Seb. Who do you want me to drag in, and just tell me what to do, and I got you.
I'm trying to remember who I saw in here first.
I know it was Shin, Nurtaku, Strahd, and Pete. From what I remember seeing,
I got yelled at by Aaron Tate for dragging in Nurtaku before Tate showed up. So I'm gonna give it a couple.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a couple. Taku, I apologize because you were on time and Tate wasn't again. All right, you're being punished. I apologize for that. But let's get Iron Hockey in here because I feel we always get him late.
Yeah,
it's cool to get Iron Hockey in early.
Okay.
Let's get Ragnar because they have slight beef, whether they want to acknowledge it or not.
They do.
Let's get Sensei Greg because I don't think I've heard from him yet. Okay. And let's go Berserk Kurt.
Berserk Kurt. Oh, these are all right. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I know the stream is a bit delayed. If you are watching us, please just mute it. And also, let's go off, man. Let's hear some opinions. Sebastian, who do you want to go first?
Let's go with the audible chocolate that is Iron Hockey. You feel me? Bless us. Wagwan, brother.
Wagwan, brother.
Wagwan Monday. Yeah, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting from Monday. But for this fight, though, Kaido and Orochi versus Mihawk and Crocodile. It's a tough one, as Seb and Larry said. It's a very, very tough one. Because Kaido, we know he's that guy. But there's a horse next to him trying to fight, so can't move on to somebody else before we think about it. Just give us
all right, we can save you for last, Iron Hockey. I'll try to get you in early, man. But all right.
But I appreciate that. I appreciate that, though.
No problem, man. No problem. Let's go with Ragnar.
I had a feeling. Damn. Okay. What's up, chat? What's up, Larry? What's up, Seb?
What's up?
What up?
A nice
he was wilding on Monday, boy. He was wilding on Monday. Don't think I forgot.
Yo, no, listen, that's the past. We're talking about the present, right? Let's go. Different episode. All right. So we have Mihawk, Crocodile versus Kaido and Orochi.
Yep.
And
Who
the
you got?
condition is
What
only
diff
one needs to
and
fall.
why?
See, it's a Yonko versus people who are quite worthy of challenging Yonko, in my opinion. And
Mm-hmm.
both of these people have the ambition to challenge Yonko. They want to see how their power fares against them. We've seen Crocodile try to go against Whitebeard in Marineford, and we've seen Mihawk try to do the same thing. And we know that Mihawk, clashed against Trunks. We all know the facts. I'm just thinking, does Crocodile, based on his would Crocodile know Orochi's weakness based on his network? Is there anything that could tell us that, like, do you guys think that Caribou is a part of Crocodile's crew?
I do. It's a Randy Troy
And
theory, but I love it. I
I
love
love
that
it
theory.
too. I think based on that, wouldn't he know Orochi's weakness in this fight?
I feel like that's extreme speculation. We can't add that.
I know. I'm just saying.
That's
I
like
know.
super headcanon speculation.
All right. Let's leave that.
So I'm gonna go no. Crocodile doesn't know his weakness going
Alright.
into the fight.
Well, we've seen Mihawk. Well, that's not gonna count. If you cut off all of Orochi's heads at once, does that count as to killing him 9 times? Does that count?
Yeah, if you can get it done.
We've seen Mihawk like cut Buggy to shreds with 1 slash, right?
I think it was a couple slashes there, but yeah.
Yeah, but it was shreds, so it was like a couple slashes per slash.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't he pull that off against Orochi quite easily?
Probably. I mean, the way I envision the battle is it's gonna need to be Kaido versus Mihawk, and Crocodile gotta take out Orochi. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That's how I view it.
I agree, but if I can get the Mihawk and one-shot Orochi, I'm going to... All right, no,
I don't think you
okay.
can one-shot him unless you go with Larry's rules where you just gotta stab him in the heart or something. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's not how it works. Yeah, but if that works, I'm not gonna go there. Nah. Okay. I think Kaido and Orochi wins just based on the fact Orochi is like a cockroach. You need like every form of bug spray, big boots, all that stuff to get him out the game. And Kaido is just a beast. There is a chance that Crocodile might still be able to dehydrate Kaido, but I don't know if he'll be able to like affect him. Wait, do you consider Crocodile as an awakened Devil Fruit user?
No.
No?
I don't think you can. Although I do believe that he probably is, just the way Oda is reintroducing him into the story. He has to have a power boost, and that's like probably the easiest one you can explain. He's had his Devil Fruit for a long time. But I don't think you can add, he's just going to use his awakening in this fight. I also don't know what it would do to like the combatants in this situation, technically. Like, I don't think he can drain Kaido's, moisture out of him like that, But that's me.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Kaido and Orochi. Even though Mihawk can definitely cut Kaido and give him a run for his money, I don't think Crocodile can kill Orochi faster than... I don't know. I feel like Kaido takes out Mihawk in short time if he gets serious. If he's not serious, it's gonna take a long time, and Crocodile can take out Orochi by dehydrating him, just cutting off his heads one by one. He's the kind of person who would turn Orochi into dust.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So you got Kaido and Orochi.
I'm going Mihawk and Crocodile based on the fact I think Crocodile can turn Orochi into dust, and there's no way Orochi revives from that. There it is.
Okay. What diff?
Yeah. High diff.
High diff. Okay.
Yeah. If Kaido decides to intervene, Crocodile dies. So that's it.
All right. Reasonable take from Ragnar. Did not expect that. Not gonna lie. Oh man. All right. We'll go with Sensei Greg. Who you got? What diff? And why, man?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the thing? So you got Mihawk and Crocodile and Kaido and Orochi. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Yep.
Orochi fodder, but I think I ain't gonna. Crocodile could probably take him out by himself. I mean, if you got people like Dendro and all them cutting his heads off, I mean, like Mihawk and them, it's gonna be too easy for them. So I think it really comes down to Kaido versus Crocodile and Mihawk. And I think Kaido he cutting Crocodile's head off. So I think it goes to I don't know, Kaido and Mihawk. That's kind of weird. I don't know who would win that fight. But from what I've seen, I think I gotta go Kaido and Orochi because I think, bro, from what we've seen, bro, nobody's stronger than Kaido. Like, look what he did to the whole worst generation. Like, I don't think Mihawk's doing that. But I don't know.
Right. Sensei, before I ask you my next question, I do want to point out in these matchups, all you have to, if one of your fighters loses or is taken out, you lose. So you don't technically need to defeat Kaido. You do need to defeat Orochi. And you don't technically need to defeat Mihawk. You just need to defeat Crocodile in this kind of scenario because those are the two weaker of the groups. But I mean, I don't know if that changes your opinion, but let me know if it does. And what's the diff do you think it's going to be?
I think it's gonna be probably like high diff, but yeah, I think I'd have to go with Kaido and Orochi then if that's how it's gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Appreciate that. Berserk Kurt, who you got? What diff and why?
Hold on. What's up, guys?
What up? What up?
My bad.
What up?
Playing some Callisto Protocol. All right, guys.
You winning?
Since I'm on my Larry vibe tonight, so I came with some notes for this fight. So we under presumption that Mihawk is Zoro 2.0. Basically, everything Zoro could do, Mihawk could do. We going to speculate that he has advanced power hockey. He has advanced observation and sorry, not conquer hockey, advanced armament hockey, advanced observation, and conquerors maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want, maybe he has it, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. And with Crocodile, very strong devil fruit, and he has basic hockey. And I have a feeling he has some observation, not very strong. Because Kaido is probably the strongest. I mean, Kaido's strongest hand down. Still have thanks open, but Kaido's strongest hand down. Now Orochi is basically everybody saying he's fodder. Maybe, just maybe, Mihawk can keep Kaido distracted. Maybe for a minute, just math for 30 seconds, keep him distracted for 30 seconds. Because we have to remember at the same time that Crocodile hook does have poison on it. He keeps poison on his hook at all times. So that could come into play. All he has to do is even if he can cut off all his heads, if his hook get him at least once, that poison can't get to him. Maybe if that's the only shot of hell I give them. Because they're not being Kaido no matter what. Both of them hands down, no matter what they do, they will not beat them. So their best bet is hopefully having Mihawk distract Kaido for at least 30 seconds. 30 seconds. If Zoro can cut him, Mihawk can distract for 30 seconds at least. A full 30 seconds this 1-on-1 with Fodder Man. So basically, I will say that I'm going Mihawk and Crocodile extreme diff, like the most extreme diffs. But it's only predicated because just he might cut off his head, but they don't know about that. So maybe his poison hook can come into play. That's my only thing. That'd be my only thing. Maybe, I don't know.
All right. Extreme diff. That's real. That's fair. I do like that you brought up Crocodile's poisonous hook. I do think it could play a role in the fight, depending on how they figure out the Orochi's head thing, whether you need it, whether Crocodile would need to cut his head off. Like I don't know that he would need to, because Orochi's probably very susceptible to the moisture sucking. You know what I mean? I forgot the name of Crocodile's moves, but You know.
Yeah,
But
I really feel like his moisture, the moisture sucking, it probably won't it won't be maybe it might come into play, maybe not. Even if it has come into play, maybe not. But I really feel the poison hook can come into play because these fights are predicated on someone being incapacitated. They ain't gotta die or get killed, just be incapacitated. I'm pretty sure that Orochi does not have like extreme endurance. I mean, even though he has an ancient devil fruit. I mean, ancient Zoan. He still. I mean, mythical Zoan. His stem. I'm pretty sure poison can pack him up really quickly. That's the only way they will pass this round. But that'll be it for me then.
All right, thank you, Berserk.
No problem, man.
All right, Iron, you've had your time.
Oh yeah. So while listening to everyone, I think everybody made some great points. That's number one. Yeah. Also, the guy brought up that crocodile even carries poison on his hook. I didn't even remember that. So that's a wonderful point. So Kaido Orochi, Mihawk Crocodile. So my thing is that Orochi has no ability to fight. He can't really do much fighting. These guys are killers, you know. Kaido, the man of all kings and strongest person in One Piece so far. So Orochi not being able to fight, I don't really see him beating either Crocodile or Mihawk. It's just that I don't even think it comes down to whether poison can kill him because, as you know, we just have a cut off him at 8 times. No, that shouldn't be difficult for Crocodile nor Mihawk. Because since this man can't fight, like they can, it's going to be very difficult to them to beat him. It's going to be difficult for him to defeat any of them. So with that said, I think the stipulations, although I like say, I really want Kaido beat them. The thing, as Seb always said to me, say the stipulation is that one has to be taken out for the next team, the opposing team to win. So I would have to go with Crocodile and Mihawk, and you know Mihawk would definitely know he can face off against Kaido. I mean, if Mihawk is the greatest swordsman and Mihawk is above Shanks in swordsmanship skills, it's definitely a guarantee that he's supposed to be able to take on Kaido. Now, beat him is a different thing, but him can definitely take him on. That's just my thing. And the diff would be extreme, because it's Kaido, you know? Just push Orochi aside and just... I think Crocodile do much the Kaido to beat him, you know? Like Sunboy just move from your son, go, you know what I'm saying? And just have the swordsman. Simple one too, you know? So, that would be it for me.
Alright. 3 votes for Mihawk and Crocodile, 1 vote for Kaido and Orochi. That's real. I think this is a toss-up, honestly. I think it can go either way. The votes kind of are showing that with the extreme diffs. I think we got 1 high diff in the opposite direction, but I see it how y'all are seeing it for the most part.
Yeah, Sensei Greg didn't go, though.
Yeah, he did.
Sensei Greg, what?
Yeah, I went.
Oh.
Yeah, I went.
Oh, my bad.
Bro, it's 3-1.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It's terrible, Larry. Listen when Sensei Greg talks, bro.
I just
put some respect on his name, bro.
I was listening to all of them.
Yo, Sensei Greg, is that a Vinland Saga PFP I see? Or am I tripping?
Of course. That's a Garm from Vinland Saga.
It is Garm. I was trying to make it out. I can't see too well, but I figured it was Garm. My guy, bro. We gonna talk in the Discord. All right, meet me in that Vinland Saga channel. But all right, y'all. We're gonna drop y'all and grab some other people to see who they got. But stick around. We'd love to hear you guys debate on a couple other topics that we're gonna have coming up.
Where the hell am I going to go when there's this One Piece talk going on, you know? This is where I belong at, you know? Everything else is...
Oh, we love you, Aaron.
Yeah, who'd you want now?
Let me get Party Pete.
So Taku said that Tate's not coming through.
Yeah. So Taku, Villain Juice, and...
I mean, Stroud was here for a little bit too.
Stroud was out here cheating. All right.
So
Stroud was doing.
Who do you want, bro?
No, just give me Taku, give me Tate, not Taku, Pete, Villain D Juice, because he was yelling at me in the YouTube chat. I've seen that.
Yeah.
And I think that's 4, right? Or am I tripping?
No, that's 3.
That's 3.
Yeah, we need one more.
Yeah, just grab Strahd then.
Strahd. All right. Here we go.
Yo, Taku, you hitting licks on the block, bro? What's up?
Yo, I'm chilling in your state right now.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at the army base, Fort Dix, doing training before I deploy after New Year's.
Oh, we didn't
shit.
know that you were deploying.
Yeah, I didn't know at all. The mustache is gone.
Just didn't say
It's a
anything.
whole different vibe.
Yeah.
Different vibe, bro. Whole different. Yeah, Strahd is-
Hey, Strahd, bro.
Strahd is-
We're unmodding Strahd immediately.
He was doing that in the chat earlier. when we
Oh
were
my
talking
God.
about
Oh
it.
my god.
I'm dead.
It wasn't me.
Oh
I'm
my
here.
god. Oh my god, that's too funny. But all right. We'll start with Taku. All right. Who you got? What diff? And why?
Is this still the Kaido and Orochi versus Croc and Mihawk?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, this was a tough one, and we were debating in the chat already. But I don't know. It's really hard because I'm trying to think that Kaido would put up enough of a fight to be able to handle Croc and Mihawk at the same time. But I mean, we just know so little about Mihawk actually being able to, I don't know, bang out with like people that are on like that crazy Yonko level. I mean, he kind of just like threw a random sword slash at Whitebeard, and it was like no big deal because Joe's stopped it. Like it wasn't like anything significant. So I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt though, because like where I think Zoro needs to be to defeat him is like a crazy high level, like to the point where I think Zoro should be in that Yonko range. But I don't know, it's tough. I would say though that I value Crocodile way more than I value Orochi in this fight, and I feel like Mihawk can hold off Kaido. If Zoro right now at his level was able to use like his Ajura and be able to cut Kaido and like do significant damage to him at that at where he's at right now versus where he needs to be to fight Mihawk, I just feel like he's got to be able to deal with Kaido at least long enough that Crocodile can come in and just suck the moisture out of Orochi and kill him, or use sand blades and stuff like that to cut off his heads. So I love Crocodile too because he's like one of my favorite characters. So I think that Crocodile and Mihawk take this, but I do think that it is extreme diff because I feel like if Kaido knows the rules of the tournament, so he's not just gonna let anyone get past. I feel like he's gonna try and deal with them both at the same time, while Orochi just does what he does and just kind of sucks in the background. So I'm gonna have to go Mihawk and Crocodile extreme diff. But it's definitely a toss up. I would say close to even. What did they make up last time to make it that crazy? God diff.
God diff.
Yeah, I think it was God diff. Yeah.
So yeah.
But all right, that's fair takes. I'm also a huge Crocodile fan. I understand bias. But I know
He's
I
just
think
like next to Doflamingo, he's the drip king.
he's the man, man.
It's
And
true.
Orochi just isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel what you all are saying in regards to what Mihawk should be capable of in a battle with Kaido. So I'll give my take in a bit, but thank you, Taku. We'll go with Strahd next.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
What's up, Strahd? I know you're tired, man. I had to get you in here.
Man. I hear you. I'll keep it short and sweet. Pretty much kind of mirroring what Nerd is saying because I am a huge fan of Crocodile, but it's got to be extreme diff. And I would like to say when we were talking about this down in the voice chat, if Kaido knows the rules, he's not gonna want. He might even like let them get really close to Orochi and then like smack them away and then say, "You got 3 more times." I mean, that could happen. But I think at the end of the day, I think Orochi is the weak link, and Mihawk could hold Kaido off to a degree where Crocodile could get Orochi, or maybe Crocodile could cause a distraction and Mihawk could cut all 9 or 8 heads. I don't know, but extreme diff, Mihawk and Croc. That's my take.
All right, that's fair. I like the idea of Mihawk. I just think that would be funny.
You keep cutting out, Seb.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah, sounds. There's like noise in the back.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
Pete, how about you?
I think I'm also gonna go with Mihawk and Crocodile, mostly just because Orochi's too big of a liability. Cause like he can't really fight. Like he's got a good devil fruit, but he can't fight, and he's really a coward. And so I know we don't know that much about Mihawk, but I think it's reasonable to assume that he could at least like fight Kaido to the degree that Kaido would have to focus on fighting him specifically and not be able to focus on necessarily what Orochi's doing that whole time. And Crocodile's sand, so his mobility is pretty solid. So I don't think it would take him very long to kill Orochi. Or if Kaido and Mihawk both decide I'm just gonna get the other one faster than the other guy, I think Mihawk still wins because I think Crocodile could run away from Kaido longer than Orochi could run away from Mihawk, and then he wins even if they don't end up fighting each other. So Kaido has a pretty heavy anchor on his team, so I think he's got to take the L. Extreme diff though, because somebody's got to do something with Kaido for some sort of time, and that's just not easy. So,
All right, that was a good take. How about you, Villain? What's up, man? Let me hear your thoughts, bro. Nah, Villain gonna stay on mute.
I'm good for him.
He did mention that he was coming off work or trying to rush through work. So maybe he wasn't ready, but he did say he wanted a specific matchup.
Oh, okay. All right.
Aaron Tate texted me and said that he wants to say that he can't make it and he's sorry.
Nah, tell him it's all love.
it's all love.
He running scared from Nerd Taco. That's what that is.
Sounds like it.
Maybe just a little.
All right, Seb, you want to go? Or do you want me to go?
I might need you to go. I still got
All right.
the water on it.
So, in my opinion, I think it's Kaido and Orochi. The reason I say that is because I do not think that Mihawk is stronger than Shanks. I think he's just stronger than him in swordsmanship, which is not actually the overall fighting style. It's just a specific fighting style. The same way Jinbei uses Fishman Karate. In my personal opinion, I feel like the worst thing that could have happened for Mihawk was his showing at Marineford, because he attacked Luffy like 11 times and only landed once. Also, he threw the sword slash, like Taku said, and it easily got blocked by Jozu. Even before that happened, he even stated, I want to see the difference between my strength and that old man, which was Whitebeard. To me, Kaido's stronger than Whitebeard at that point, I think by a fair amount. So I can't see Mihawk doing a sword slash that's strong enough to do so, like damage to him. But I do think that wherever Zoro is, Mihawk is a step above that. And I think it's just a step at this point. I don't think that it's 2 steps or 3 steps. I think that it would be really hard for Kaido to push through Mihawk. But I've also seen Kaido like be the fastest person in a show that we've seen. Like the dude has dodged lightning instantly without even really trying. He's used future sight because he needed to. And I think that if Kaido knows that Orochi, if he goes down, that's game over, they lose. I think he just takes out Crocodile faster than Mihawk could try to take out Orochi, speed-wise. I'm not going to give Mihawk a speed feat when I have never seen Mihawk do any speed feats. And when he has done one, it was at Marineford, and he tried to stab Luffy by jumping on top of Yoru and then stabbing the ground to see if he could touch Luffy. And that was pre-time skip Luffy. You know what I'm saying? So I know that the Marineford War is very hard to look at and be like, all right, this is what actually happened, this what didn't happen, and like this was when hockey was being used, this was when hockey wasn't being used. I get it. But my personal opinion, Kaido that boy. And I feel like he gets so much disrespect, but the things that he was doing against like a Gear 5 Luffy were insane. Like those were insane feats. And it's like, okay, so like if Mihawk fights Gear 5 Luffy right now, does he put up a hard enough fight? Or does he go down easier than Kaido? And I just don't see it. So for me personally, I think Kaido takes out Crocodile faster than Mihawk could take out Orochi. And I don't think that Mihawk would be able to keep Kaido down. Like it would be too difficult to keep Kaido down in order for him not to hit Crocodile. Crocodile is the weak link for sure. Because also Orochi loses a head. They probably think he's taken out. Like he just plays dead. They got to fight now. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know. But that's just my opinion.
So, Larry, small pushback. If he's playing dead, would they not still lose?
No.
Because they're assuming that the person's out, right? Like,
Yo,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
I wouldn't
Based
say
off
that.
the rules of the tournament.
Low key, actually. Okay, so if Orochi plays dead, that might actually change. I'm not even gonna lie, that might actually change my vote, because if he gets a head cut off and they use that to his advantage, and they think,
But I think
they
if you're
won,
playing dead, you're out of the fight, and I think
right.
But
I
okay,
think
but
that-
how is that
that's
not
it.
a tactical? Hold on, how is that not a tactic if you're outthinking your opponent? If
Like-
you know,
No,
the
what I
rules,
mean is by the rules, it's like, yo, if you take the person out, the fight's over.
right?
So
But how do
Kaido
we determine How do we determine taken?
I feel
out?
like
If
counting
I'm playing
playing
possum,
dead
how do you
violates the
determine I'm out?
sanctity of this tournament. I'm
No,
gonna be
no,
honest.
I'm fine with Orochi playing dead. I'm saying
Because Strewson could have played dead and gave Big Mama,
yeah,
a bump. If Strewson plays dead the whole time.
Party playing dead is an actual
Well,
tactic.
we didn't think
that,
about
like,
that then. We thought about it now.
No,
Or Larry
not
thought
even.
about it
It's
now.
like there's like an actual case to be made for Orochi to do this with his ability versus Strewson just going, "Oh, I'm hurt," and you know what I mean. Like this is like, yo, I can actively do this. He actively did it in the manga, but based off the tournament, if Kaido thinks they lost because Orochi's head is cut off, like he's like, "Oh, I lost," like, you know what I mean? Like he might rampage and start beating the shit out of people, but like.
So
Based off of the tournament, he would have been like, yo, I lost the fight already.
So I got to push back on that. So it's a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaido already knows that if Orochi goes down, that it's game over, right? So why
But does he know that Orochi has 9 heads?
I mean, why wouldn't Orochi tell him then? If we're already
Orochi is very, very dumb.
Well, they had some flack. Well, they did have some flack back and forth, right?
Hold on. Kaido cut off Orochi's head and assumed he was dead.
Yeah, he thought he killed him.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
He thought he killed him.
Yes.
And he didn't.
But what I'm telling you guys is if we're having a 2-on-2 and Kaido knows that if either one of them goes down, that immediately means that they lose, right? What's to stop Orochi? Because if we're if we're giving that rule to both of them, then I would assume that Orochi's gonna be like, yo, I can just get a head cut off and be good. Like, why wouldn't he tell Kaido that?
See, but Larry, this is the problem with what you're saying, right? This would mean we need like actual referees for the tournament to be like,
Yeah.
oh,
No.
and we're acting as that.
No,
Now
Dripper
Yeah.
Scarfino.
Right.
No,
I,
but
I would argue that Crocodile and Mihawk are both smart enough to, finish their kills.
I also would assume that if Crocodile's going for the kill and he's trying to do it as fast as possible, he's probably just going to dry Orochi out, which means no cutting of heads, which means he's just going to die normally.
That's a good point, I guess.
Kaido's not going to let Crocodile get that close, bro.
And Mihawk's
But
not going to let
that's just
Kaido
because you're
direct
underrating
Kaido.
Mihawk's ability to keep his attention.
Here's a question. Well, given Mihawk's what was supposed to be Mihawk's epithet, like this with observation, are we giving him any credence versus Kaido's observation? He pulls out when he needs to, but what about someone like Mihawk who's clearly meant to be that guy with that ability?
Yo, if he was
Would
meant
be able to,
my
sorry,
bad.
go ahead, Larry.
No, go.
Wouldn't he be able to I don't know, get enough time, like even just a second or two, wouldn't that be enough to get Orochi versus the other way around?
So if Mihawk swung at Luffy 11 times and hit him only once, where was his future sight
Okay,
at?
well,
If
that
he-
was the. I get what you're saying,
Hold on,
but
hold on,
also
and
you have
another
to
one.
understand that was then.
All
and
right,
that
so
was plot.
if he sent a sword slash at a person to gauge the difference in strength levels, why wouldn't he be able to see it get blocked by Joe's?
Jozu
yeah,
is made of
He's made
diamond.
of diamond.
I think that's a very specific
Damn, yo.
counter to
Maybe he
those types
also
of-
didn't care. Maybe he threw it and saw, and
So-
you know, if he
Oh,
used
so-
future sight,
Thank
he
you.
could be like, hey, he's diamond. I want to see if I can just cut diamond with
Well,
this simple
hold
slash.
on.
Like,
But hold
we
on.
don't know.
But hold on. We also saw Mihawk throw that same slash at Das Bones, and he blocked it. And then as soon as he closed the gap, he cut him down like it was paper.
So what y'all both telling me is that the dude lacks the actual observation of how strong his opponents are all the time. So this is another
I don't
knock
know.
on Mihawk because he can't gauge
But I don't
certain
think-
fighter
I think
strength.
In this specific instance, that doesn't
say we
matter
could-
because I think Mihawk, at
Man.
least from what we know about him and how he's been compared, is at least good enough to go through a couple sword clashes with Kaido long enough because Orochi can't fight
Okay.
and Crocodile can actually fight.
No,
Hey, hold on. No, I have a whole different.
Hold
on,
I want
y'all.
to stay on this
Larry,
topic.
No, I'm asking you specifically, Larry. Who do you think is stronger, Mihawk or Yamato?
Mihawk.
You think it's Mihawk? Okay.
Yeah.
So we've had several arguments as to whether or not Kaido was holding back versus Yamato or not. You have told me on several accounts that he was not. He was actively attacking his daughter at full strength.
Yeah.
You're telling me that Mihawk is stronger than her
Yeah.
and that Kaido went all out against her, or at least to some level, used some level of real strength against her.
Yeah, I get your
But
point.
she
bro.
was able to hold Kaido off for several minutes. Like it was a clean 20 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe longer.
Because she's more durable.
And you're
than-
telling me but you're telling me a stronger character than her
I
that
am.
you just
Bro,
acknowledged is stronger than her.
I understand what you're saying.
Is not.
Yeah, so
I don't get that.
All right, so Yamato is definitely more durable than Mihawk. I think Mihawk is going to have more AP power than she does for sure, because he's stated to be a swordsman of the greatest strength. That's why. So he's going to be naturally strong. So if he gets bodied, I don't know what Mihawk's durability looks like. And then I wanted to keep going, bro, because you threw me off. I was gonna ask Pete something, but keep going.
Well, all that, but all right. So, but that sword skill would tell me that he's likely not just going to get bodied. He's going to be able to deal with whatever Kaido throws at him.
Yeah,
whether
of
it's
course.
defensive, he just can't get hit too hard consistently.
Okay,
the way
that's-
she was getting hit.
That's cool.
What I'm saying is, how much time do you think Crocodile's going to need to take Orochi out? And beyond that, last episode, when we talked about Orochi, you brought up the fact that you don't need to cut off that. You can just get to the heart.
That's true.
Crocodile has the means to kill a man without decapitating him at all.
Okay.
And Orochi, to your point, is not a fighter.
Okay.
So I'm just giving pushback on your take on this fight.
Yeah, and
they don't seem to be together.
And you're pushing back for a very long time, right? Like to the point, like you talked for 5 minutes. So what I will say is that since I used that argument last time and you guys just knocked it, that Orochi couldn't just get stabbed in the heart, I'm not going to use this argument because it shouldn't be used again. So you guys can't use it against me if I couldn't use it against you last episode. All right, so we're not going to do that.
What about him being stabbed in the heart?
Like if he gets stabbed in the heart, you don't have to worry about his head.
Different than being stabbed in.
Why wouldn't
thank you
kill his heart? Why wouldn't that instantly?
But I'm talking about something else. So completely dehydrating him is different than being stabbed in the heart.
Oh, 1,000%. But Kaido's not going to let Crocodile get that close. Anyway, before I get to my point, because
Kaido stop him.
Because Sebastian just threw it completely off topic. Pete, so what do you think is harder to cut, Whitebeard or Diamond?
Well, at that point, a Diamond Squad stabbed Whitebeard.
All right, because Whitebeard got
If we're
caught off
talking
guard.
about Admirals Ford, yeah,
Because
random fodder stabbed Whitebeard 100-something times. It's not a brick wall they were stabbing into. This is like Marine Ford fodder.
Okay.
Blackbeard pirates shooting him with bullets. Bullets barely work in One Piece.
So that was like 2 minutes before Whitebeard died. One. And then
He
also
was 2 minutes before he died when he showed up, man.
Okay. All right. So
Just to let
Whitebeard
y'all know, we got villain in here now.
Whitebeard just being full strength is right before the war. You're gonna say that Squardo who snuck him
He was not full strength. He wasn't
for
using
that point in
Conqueror's
time.
hockey.
Yes, at that point in time,
No,
he was
wasn't
at the
even using
strength.
Conqueror's hockey.
He
He
was
was near
the-
full strength. This is not true.
He was at the strongest point he was going to be at that time.
Right, which was being stabbed by Squad.
Yes, and Squardo stabbed him, but Whitebeard wasn't thinking that he was going to get stabbed by his own sons. He's not going to have his future sight on.
Right, but are
in
you
that sense.
suggesting a healthy Whitebeard would have needed to even focus on Squad to not take damage from it? Like
that's how it works.
No. At that point, is Diamond harder than Whitebeard's skin? Yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
Pete, answer me this: Kaido right now. Who is it easier to cut Kaido right now, or is it easier to cut Diamond?
Diamond. It's easier to cut Jozu. I don't know about just cutting Diamond.
Okay, so who got stabbed by the Akazaya 9? Was Kaido. But we know that Kaido's stronger than Jozu. So it's like, you can use that argument all you want, but we know that for sure that sword slash was meant for a Yonko. It was meant to cut a Yonko. It was,
right,
and it's going to be stronger than Joe's and his Diamond.
Because if Zoro can cut Kaido, if Killer can cause internal damage to Kaido, then Mihawk can cut him. He's, regardless of how many levels you think he is above him, he is above him. So it's not unreasonable to suggest that he could fight Kaido for 5 minutes. Orochi is not capable enough to avoid Crocodile for 5 minutes.
But that also, you're also proving my point, was the fact that even though Mihawk is capable of such means, he lacked the observation to go, yo, I'm going to be able to cut this dude. And since I didn't cut this dude and it was blocked by Jozu, then obviously my strength isn't on par as what I thought it was.
He doesn't need to cut Kaido to win this fight. He just needs to fight him.
But
he doesn't have to damage him at all. He just has to fight him.
But
he just has to clash with him long enough for Crocodile to kill Orochi. Whether or not Mihawk can actually beat Kaido or damage him to a substantive degree makes no difference in this fight because he's strong enough to clash with him. If he's stronger than Yamato, he's strong enough to clash with him for 5 to 10 minutes. And that's as long as Crocodile would need to kill Orochi. No doubt.
Okay, so what's the difference between a Yamato that was taking on a Kaido versus like Gear 5 Luffy?
Gear 5 Luffy has a Toon Force. There's a world of differences between him and Yamato. What do you mean? He was utilizing Conqueror's Haki in ways Yamato wasn't, and he just figured it out. What do you mean? The differences are huge.
Exactly. The differences are huge. And
he doesn't have to beat him is the point. He doesn't have to win. He just has to clash with him.
I understand that. But what I'm getting at is that since there is such a large difference between Yamato and Gear 5, we suspect that Mihawk would be somewhat on par with Gear 5, right? But Kaido, at the end of the day, was still speed blitzing him. He was still one-shotting him. He was still dodging all of his attacks. And then he just decided to start using Future Sight. Kaido, by far, is the strongest person in the show, without a doubt. That we've seen. Hold on. You had your turn to talk. Let me talk. Let me talk, and then you'll talk. And my point is, at the end of the day, Mihawk is strong. But his showcasing has always looked really terrible, especially during Marineford. So we can suspect where he's going to be, but overall from what we've seen, it doesn't match up with the tales of his moniker. So if I'm to say that Gear 5 Luffy is where Mihawk would be at tops right now, I don't see Kaido having that much of a hard time in order to hit Crocodile first or get into the way of him trying to attack Orochi and defending Orochi and taking Crocodile out with one shot.
But so my counter to that is that he doesn't have to be as strong as Gear 5 Luffy to clash with Kaido long enough for Crocodile to accomplish the goal. It's not, like I said, because Yamato could do it. And he's stronger than Yamato.
So then my next question to you is, was Kaido playing to his comp or was he not?
But doesn't he always play to his comp? So if he's really around that strength, then he's going to play to a similar level against Mihawk, right?
Well, this is when it comes into play as well.
But that's his nature. You don't use it for half the argument.
So we're gonna be like, okay, then we have to set is when the fight starts, is Kaido going all out, Sebastian? Because now we have to get into that talk. Is he going all out, or is he playing to his comp?
You're gonna the part, Petey. Hold on, and I gotta get to villain in a second here. The combatants are gonna fight the way that they fight in the manga. They're not like bloodlusted. They're gonna do they're gonna do the actions. They're gonna be in the same mindset that they typically are in the manga. So if Kaido looks at Mihawk and goes, "That's a worthy opponent," maybe he goes all out against him. It depends on how you feel that Kaido would feel about Mihawk.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay. So then the variable of this fight is the way it's set up, right? It's if one person falls, your team loses. So Kaido's going to have a different type of attitude, and we have to speculate that he would, because he's not going to want to lose.
But
so he's going to step up his level that's going to be above Mihawk in order to take care of Mihawk and Crocodile at the same time.
So from what we know about Kaido, is it more likely that he will trust in his own strength and his own ability to beat Mihawk in a one-on-one fight, or is he going to focus his complete attack around defending Orochi? Kaido, the man we've seen come to no one's defense except Jack that one time for a couple seconds. Do we expect him to focus more on, I can just beat these guys. I can just beat this guy faster than he can beat that guy and go for that?
I think that he would be able to beat both. He'd be able to take on both at the same time.
Not faster than Crocodile will get to Orochi, because regardless of the strength difference between Kaido and Crocodile, he's a Logia that's made of sand. So if he tries to attack Mihawk and Crocodile at the same time, inevitably there will be an opening for Crocodile to escape his sight for a brief moment and cause substantive damage to Orochi. Because Orochi can't, regardless of what you think of Mihawk, Orochi can't ride on Kaido's back and Kaido still beat them.
Orochi would probably just stand still and Kaido would turn Future Sight immediately on. If Mihawk has indeed gotten to that level of strength, Kaido would just do that and just take both of them on, bro.
But just from what we've seen with Kaido fight, we know that the man wants the 1v1 against strong opponents. But he's not going to 1v1. His whole fighting style. He's not going to disregards
Larry, and hold on, party. And Larry, I'm gonna get this in. Taku, I'm gonna go to villain, and then I'll go to you. But real quick, I just want to say, in regards to Kaido's character and how he acts, he's gonna care more about getting a nice fight with Mihawk than he is gonna care about winning the tournament, which is just kind of how he is. Like he'd rather, we lost this tournament, cool. I'd rather fight Mihawk. Like to me, that's just how Kaido's character is. But villain,
did he do that with Odin?
Yet, man.
Did he do that with Odin or no?
He was there. What are we gaining? I mean, we didn't get stakes of the tournament.
Okay,
we'd have to be like, okay, you're gonna win the Pirate King status with this or something like that. There was an actual contextual element of why he tricked Odin versus okay, we're just winning this tournament. Like I didn't add any of that in.
Okay, so you just immediately helped my argument that Kaido would do anything in order to win. And plus, a lot of people like to mistake what the narrative of Kaido actually was, and it was the fact that the reason why he fought Luffy the way he fought him was because he thought he was Joy Boy. His whole time he wanted to just fight Joy Boy or get defeated by Joy Boy. So Kaido does play according to his comp, but if Mihawk is at that comp level, he's going to take it seriously because the variable happens to be if one person loses, that's it. I lost. He's not going to let Orochi lose. So he's going to go all out.
I mean, I suppose.
We could agree to disagree, but Vinland, you could
I'm
go.
going to let Villain talk because I could keep going.
Yeah.
All right, wait, can y'all hear me?
Yeah. What's up, bro?
All right, hey, look, first and foremost, bro, I am super excited to be here right now. I'm not gonna lie. Listening to y'all,
we're
bro,
excited to see you, for real.
I have not got to hop on a single one of these streams. This is great. I don't have anybody else to talk to One Piece about. I love y'all, 100%.
Love you back, bro. Thank you.
Appreciate that, man.
Although I did not want to agree with Larry in my very first conversation here. I'm not gonna lie. The top person in me wanted to argue with Larry above all else. But there's no way that Kaido doesn't win this fight. And I'm not saying Orochi even slightly. Just Kaido. Because there's no way that there's no speed feat from Mihawk, there's no speed feat from Crocodile that outdoes the level we've seen from Kaido. It's non-existent in any other character in the show, except for obviously Luffy, who kind of kept up a little bit because he's the main character. I mean, I'm gonna go Kaido and
Man,
Orochi 100%.
I don't like him
I'm
coming
gonna
in
say
here agreeing with
high
Larry.
diff, maybe, but it's a lack there of feats. Like attack power wise, they can't hold anything against Kaido. Like Mihawk hasn't shown anything. Crocodile, he might come back with something, but definitely not at the level that they're at. Orochi, I was convincing myself otherwise just to argue with Larry, I promise. But I just can't see any way they're maneuvering around Kaido in order to get to Orochi. And Orochi's not going to fight. Orochi has only ever stood up to the freaking Akaza 9, and like he still got dubbed very easily. He has no feats. So he's going to hide behind the strongest individual in the entirety of One Piece. The entire time.
Okay. Oh, you said what? High diff or extreme diff?
I'm going like the lowest version of high humanly possible.
Okay, so
Yeah.
mid diff.
Yeah, well, I would say extreme diff. I'm saying extreme diff. Like, it's not easy. Like, even this hype that we have about Mihawk, like the hype of him overall, I would say it's extreme diff no matter what for me. But that's the respect, because he, like, Mihawk has to be one step above Zoro. So we know he can hurt Kaido. But
I feel like the gap between Zoro and Kaido is still substantially high enough for me to not respect Mihawk to that degree. I will never put Mihawk and Kaido in the same realm. Like it's not a thing. 1v1 Kaido versus Mihawk is a mid to high diff fight. I feel like it's mostly just because Kaido is gonna drag it out because he fights through his competition.
Yo, man, what are you trying to say about Zoro with that Mihawk comment?
Stride,
We gonna
calm
fight.
down.
We go fight. We go fight.
1v1 Zoro. 1v1 Zoro versus Mihawk. That's the diff.
Hold on, y'all. Taku, you had something you wanted to say before we went to villain.
So I was just gonna say, I feel like Crocodile and Mihawk have like a higher IQ in the way that they would plan out their deliberate fight with Kaido and Orochi. And I feel like it would play to both of them. I feel like Crocodile would just like, he would know that Kaido's gonna go after both of them at the same time, because like he had no problem just being like, yeah, sure, all 5 of you on the rooftop, fight me. You know, like that's the type of personality he has, and he does very much fight to his comp, but I still think he would try and fight them both. But I still feel like Crocodile could easily just like narrow the playing field by just creating like a sandstorm around them and just lowering the visibility. And we don't really understand exactly how future sight works with like those type of situations. Like we saw Katakuri, who should have this like amazing future sight, but yet when he was under like the what everyone says, the weed gas, he was like unable to differentiate between someone else and his brother and ended up hitting him. His future sight wasn't able to see the future of him hitting his brother. It probably saw the future sight that he would see with his own eyes, which would probably have been him hitting what we would assume is someone else under the hallucinogens. So we don't really know how future sight works in that instance. So if Kaido just used future sight with a sandstorm around him, he would only see the future of just sand. And then he would, if they could narrow the playing field to where Kaido is just in a, like, they're in the eye of the storm of a sandstorm, and it's just Mihawk versus him, I feel like that just clinches the dub for them, because I feel like outside of that, Crocodile is murdering the hell out of Orochi, and before they know it, all of a sudden the sandstorm drops and he's dead. They won. I just and don't get me wrong, I think that Kaido is very much a force to be reckoned with, and I think that he is above Mihawk in every, in pretty much every sense of it, as far as attack power, defense, durability, the whole nine. Not really battle IQ, well, maybe just not IQ in general. Battle IQ, he's got a lot under his belt, but I mean, we'd have to imagine that Mihawk also does. But I think with like the way that they would do it, I mean, Crocodile's not stupid, Mihawk's not stupid. They would come up with a way to do that. So I'm just saying I think that that's how it would go, and that's why I think it's an extreme diff fight because I don't know how long Mihawk could hold him back before he would come to Orochi's aid, but I think that it could be enough along with Crocodile's ability to be able to cinch the victory out from under Kaido without him basically even getting to participate too much.
Listen, bro, y'all can say whatever y'all want, but these are two dudes that are under Buggy. And I love the fact that like Taku's trying to cape and trying to find some type of way for them to win, but like, come on, bro.
Larry, that is just
you just ignore the narrative behind that.
And you're only
Larry always
to
ignores
support
the
your
narrative.
narrative.
He always ignores
All
the
right, Larry,
narrative, bro.
you made me do it with that take.
Can I counter really quick what Taku
This
had
is
to
your
say?
fault.
Yeah, go ahead, Villain.
Go ahead, Villain.
I feel like the initial, introduction to observation hockey was the purpose to be able to find your opponent without using sight. So if you think someone of a Kaido level's observation can't see through a sandstorm that Crocodile is producing, bro, you gotta be tripping. There's no way.
Tripping.
Yeah, man.
Hey man,
I
even
don't think
Scorpion
so.
King couldn't see through a sandstorm that easily. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I
but
agree.
we just don't know. Like from the cover story, we really don't know how someone's future sight like works. Like because we don't
It's
know.
not even,
I mean,
it's not even
otherwise,
necessarily future sight. Just like the basic
You
observation,
think-
he doesn't need to see in the future to know where his opponents are, right? And the category that's a good point. Like the category cover story, I feel like that alters your perception. So what you're knowing, like that's gonna know what you can't tell the future if you're like already fucked up. You don't know what's going on, but like just basically you can't like sandstorm someone who's just gonna know where you are regardless. I feel like a visual impairment's not gonna really work that well against somebody of that degree.
And you know why that doesn't matter, Taku? Because we've seen Fuji. He's a blind man. He consistently has sandstorm all the time in his eyes, bro. But he was able to tell where people are. We're talking about a Yonko, like the strongest person in the show. He decided to just randomly start using future sight. You don't think he's going to be able to see Crocodile's bum ass just sandstorming? He's going to attack him anyway. If anything, it hurts Mihawk. Because Mihawk lacks the IQ and also the observation to gauge where his opponents are or how strong they are. So it actually puts Kaido and Orochi in favor because now they can't figure out where Orochi is too, while Kaido's just rampaging.
I think you're putting too much stock into that.
So,
shit.
why don't we
Yeah.
downplay,
Hold
what blind people can
hold
do?
on. I need to say something back to this.
Go ahead, Taku. Go
First
ahead.
off, if so Kaido has that same fucking problem though, right? Because he didn't know that he was gonna lose to a Gear 5 Luffy. So obviously he doesn't know he's calm.
Okay.
So he played to where he was at and still didn't know, right? Because he saw a big fist and he was like, yeah, sure, I'll tank it. But that's not what happened, right? So
I mean-
you're telling me that doesn't work for that circumstance either? Because
That's
you're literally
pride
saying like,
over
oh,
future sight.
he didn't know. Oh,
Hold on, Taku. That's interpretation. One, because we can also throw it up to the fact that Kaido wanted to lose.
Hold on, Larry. Your entire Mihawk take is
Right.
you're acting as if he
You're
went
hating
all out
on this one
against
statement from
Luffy.
Marineford.
Yeah.
No.
Like, what are we talking about,
No,
bro?
no.
He did one slash
No,
that
he's saying
wasn't strong enough to take out Das Bones.
Okay.
And you're like,
Mihawk
oh, he was
definitely
trying to take
can't
out a
gauge his
Yonko.
opponents because he
Come
made
on,
one
man.
comment at Marineford, like in passing, as he threw like a slash attack one time.
Okay, so
It doesn't
so
work that way.
so
bro.
what Taku was saying was because Kaido couldn't gauge Luffy's strength at that time, which is why Luffy ended up overpowering him because he truly overpowered Kaido. What I'm saying is Kaido didn't get truly overpowered, but instead he wanted to be defeated by Luffy because he believed he was Joy Boy at that point. So
But Kaido was still about making the Joy Boy person earn it. He wasn't just giving it up.
Of
Oh,
course.
you're Joy Boy now. I'm gonna give it up. He still was. He needed
he
to
just
knock
said,
him out.
if I lose, I want to lose
Yeah.
to Joy Boy. That doesn't mean he wants to lose.
Okay.
It just doesn't mean he wants to lose to no one besides Joy Boy.
Oh, you're absolutely right. But what comes into play is that now Kaido's willpower is affected. We don't know necessarily if he's putting his all into it. Because now he's like, yo, I know this guy's Joy Boy. I'm going to make it tough, but am I going to conquer Joy Boy? Ultimately, that's up for interpretation. But he's trying to make the claim that Kaido necessarily couldn't gauge Luffy's strength. And I'm saying that's most likely incorrect. Like probability of evidence, that doesn't speak to me as like there's a greater percentage that was true in comparison to what it actually is. And again, Mihawk's doing this to like, we don't know if Josu's like a second commander level or third commander level. He was the Vista's the fifth commander, right, on the Whitebeard Pirates. They don't go according to number of strength. So Josu could probably be like the second strongest person on the crew besides Marco, right? But he still got his sword slash thrown, and it was meant for Whitebeard. All I'm saying is like, I think there's a lot of disrespect all the time on Kaido. But if y'all gonna talk narrative to me, then y'all need to understand that like narratively, a lot of things plagued Kaido. And when he lived up to his name and he lived up to his strength, he was the strongest person we've ever seen in the show by far, and it's not close.
All right. Well, I'll give my take now because y'all all said what y'all needed to say. I
Dang,
assume.
you didn't give your take yet, Seb?
Not yet.
That long?
Larry been talking, and he was complaining about me talking. Strahd, you remember that?
You were
earlier.
7:42.
Well, you were asking me a question,
Easy.
and you took 5 minutes to ask the question, and I couldn't answer because I kept forgetting
Man,
which point you were trying to make.
I think we should downplay what blind people can do because they're amazing people. That's all I gotta say.
Listen,
Yeah, I was like, yo, how can he not sense him in a sandstorm, but
Taku.
Fuji could just see anything?
I gotta say this, Taku. That Sandstorm take was trash, and you know it was. Okay, Sandstorm, bro. Come on,
Yo,
man.
don't be
Leave
talking to
his bomb
Taku
takes
like
alone.
that, bro.
Nah, bro.
I'll
'Cause
fight
I got too much respect for Taku's acumen for him to be in here talking about a sandstorm gonna stop Kaido from getting in Crocodile. That ain't happening.
Listen, Seth
you
don't
know
even
what?
respect himself, bro. It's all right.
What you need to
Yeah,
do is you
don't
need to
even
get
know One
Taku.
Piece.
You need to get Taku in the studio and officially debate his opinions there. That's what you need to do.
Listen, I'm down, man. Anytime.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
y'all need to make it happen.
Anyway, I
I'll
got
come through. I just got one more week of this training.
okay. All right. Anyway, I got Mihawk and Crocodile.
Of course you do.
Ex-
You only like
Kaido
Crocodile
extreme.
because of how he dressed. That's the only reason you're picking him.
No, just the logistics are here. I voted against two of my favorite characters. Okay, I'm not biased in these debates. I got Mihawk and Crocodile mostly because of where I expect Mihawk to be at in the series. He's just, if he's doing with Shanks, he's Zoro's end game. He's looked at as this guy with the 3.9 billion berry bounty, like it's or 3.5, whatever it was. He's looked at in the verse as somebody who's extremely strong, right? So in general, he needs to be able to fight Kaido evenly, relatively evenly, right? Or at least on some level, he can hold him back. And Crocodile would just smoke Orochi. It's not even a debate, in my opinion. Like there's nothing that Orochi would be able to do to defend against Crocodile. So I got Mihawk and Crocodile personally, and I'm gonna go high to extreme diff.
High to extreme, yeah. Yo, you live down a block for me, bro. I'm about to come by and just like stall off on you. You know it's not a high diff fight, bro. You know it's extreme.
It's hold on. The Mihawk and Kaido part is extreme, but the Crocodile and Orochi part is low. You get what I'm saying? Like it's low diff. There's nothing he could do to Crocodile. He doesn't have hockey. There's nothing he would be able to do to Crocodile. So I'm evening it out to high to extreme.
All right, bro.
Hey, technically, we don't know if Crocodile has hockey either. I'm just saying.
He will not need it.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Would he need it versus Orochi?
Oh
no.
my God,
So what
bro.
are we talking about? Thank you. Like he would not need it, bro. He would not need hockey versus
Oh my
Orochi.
God,
so
bro.
what are we talking?
Crazy, bro.
Also, I stand by the Sandstorm take, but only because if you just narrow the playing field to Mihawk versus Kaido, and Mihawk is literally just like Seb said, you know, he is supposed to be able to hold him off. If you narrow the field of vision where Kaido literally just has to focus on Mihawk because he's dealing with him, he's not going to be using his observation to look for where Crocodile is or where Orochi is. He's going to be too busy dealing with that. Like that's more like if you were just able to put blinders on him, you know, just so he's able to focus solely on Mihawk, and Mihawk is able to just fight Kaido and not have to worry about any outside entities, I feel like he could definitely hold him off long enough for Crocodile to be able to easily sneak Orochi, and he does not need Haki to deal with him. And I agree with Seb, which is a very different take for me, but it is definitely low diff, maybe even no diff. Who knows?
All right, bro.
Do you think otherwise on the Orochi versus Croc?
Yes, what could Orochi possibly do to Crocodile? What? There's nothing.
So the idea, yeah. So the idea is, Orochi's not even considered in the fight at this point. Like, it's really about Kaido taking on both Mihawk and Crocodile, and the difference is between our point of views is that a certain part of you guys believe that Mihawk is at this extreme level where Kaido would actually be in an extreme fight, and in our personal opinion, it's not, because Mihawk hasn't shown the evidence to do so. It's only been the hype, his moniker, and where we expect him to be above Zoro-wise. But overall, he still doesn't get that credit in my eyes because his showings have been so terrible.
But Larry, we didn't even say it needs to be an extreme fight for him and Crocodile. I said that. But others just said the fact that Yamato and others have stalled Kaido on any level, and we've seen, like you can assume that Mihawk can use Ryo. We've seen the Scabbards, who are all clearly weaker than Mihawk, stab and cut and hurt Kaido. It might not be anything extreme, but at the minimum, he can fight Kaido. And if you can fight Kaido, you can stop him from blitzing Crocodile. And if you can do that, Crocodile can no-diff Orochi. That's all we're saying. It doesn't need to be this, it's an extreme battle and everything. Like, you don't need to think that Mihawk is top 5 in the verse to expect this. He can still fight Kaido on some level. You have to be able to acknowledge it.
And the difference is, again, because I've stated it before, we're not going off of complete narrative, right? Like, the point is we have to take one of them out. But if Kaido knows that he has to go all out, we know that Yamato, he wasn't using Future Sight. You know what I'm saying? Like, the difference is Kaido has always held back in each fight except when he fought Luffy at the very, very end.
And but now you're saying in this tournament with no stakes, he's going to go all out.
Hold on, you and Pete are both talking at the same time. Would you say,
sorry.
Pete?
I was saying you can't argue at the same time that Mihawk isn't that strong, and Kaido, who's known to play to his competition, is going to play at some higher level just because he knows Orochi is around. Orochi, he barely considers as like a conscious being. So him being there is not going to make, like, from what we know about Kaido, is going to make no conscious decision on how he fights those two. And just like you can't say Mihawk's weak and then expect Kaido to be performing at some higher level than when he was fighting people that you're comparing him to. Is my point. So, like, you can't be both.
So is Mihawk faster than Gear 5 or no?
But we're not talking about him being as strong as Gear 5 Luffy. Like, we're talking about Yamato. You're talking about like a fight with Yamato.
Yeah.
If he fights at that level, Mihawk can hold him just as long as Yamato did.
But if he knows that if Orochi gets taken out, he loses. You think that he's just going to play to Mihawk comp?
But Kaido cares more about winning one-on-one battles with strong people than he does about winning a competition, just based on his character. If we're talking about his narrative, he does.
He's fought multiple characters at once, and that wasn't one-on-one.
Right, but from what he values, it's one-on-ones with strong opponents. He fought the Yakuza 9 by themselves because they're not strong. He didn't consider the Supernova strong or strong enough to be on that level where he fights some 1v1. Mihawk is in the conversation with those people that he considers to be strong enough to fight 1v1, regardless of where you think he stands in those standings. Even from the little that we've seen in the narrative, those are the people he's compared with and, you know, portrayed to be on at least in the similar level to. So that gives him at least enough credence to fight Kaido for, like I said, 5 minutes?
Okay, so where was Big Mom when Kaido was fighting Zoro, Kid, and Law, and even Luffy? Were they not great fighters? Were they not strong people? Were they stronger than Akazaya 9?
Back for most of that fight at the beginning because I was like, I got this.
But the thing was, he was fighting them though. So like we know that like he's going to fight multiple people at one time. It really is. This is where it's coming.
But he wasn't even going all out when he was fighting those 4 people. So like that's what I'm saying. There's no reason to suggest that he would for some reason just start this out. You can't say Mihawk is weak and say that Kaido's going to go full out when we've seen him fight multiple people that he thinks he's stronger than and not go full out for the whole time.
This is the conversation right now. You guys just don't believe even with Orochi losing and Kaido knowing that if Orochi gets done for, he's done too. You don't believe that he would even change his comp level. He wouldn't fight to his fullest strength. That's the differences in our like perspectives right now. And for me, I think he would go all out if he knows that. And you guys just don't think he would. And that's really what it comes down to.
Well, we've seen him fight multiple people with, all of the goals he was going for on the line and still not go all out. Right?
Yeah, but when we saw him at his peak level, he was literally dodging lightning, my boy.
Right, but we've seen him fight multiple people we thought he was stronger than with everything that he had on the line because this raid's going to ruin his whole plan with Wano, and he still wasn't going all out because he just thought he could beat him. So if Mihawk's not a worthy opponent to Kaido, even if he's with somebody else, from what we know about Kaido, there's nothing to suggest that he's going to start out at the level he was fighting Gear 5 Luffy. There's just Kaido's shown the opposite of that.
Okay.
If what you're saying about Mihawk's strength is true.
All right, we're just going to have to agree to disagree, bro. Because I believe if he knows that Orochi gets taken out, it's over for him, he goes full strength. You believe no matter what, he's just going to fight to his own comp and not care. That's it. I think that's the conversation. We're good.
All right. I'll say this. I think if Joy Boy ain't around, Kaido not going all out, period. And Mihawk ain't Joy Boy. But that's me. But all right. I think we can probably call it 7-3. And the Cross Guild guys are winning in the YouTube chat. But this was a really interesting fight. I know stream diffs being tossed around. A lot of different arguments, whether it be narrative or feats, etc. But I thought this would be a more interesting one, and I'm glad that we get this out of here. Taku, I just want to say again that Sam Store take was absolutely dog water. Do better. Do better. But thank you guys for popping in. We're gonna drop you guys in here, but I really appreciate all the comments. Villain, it's good seeing you.
Yeah,
here,
good
man.
seeing you, Villain.
All right, for real.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. I work way too fucking.
Yo, Larry, you put on the buggy costume mad quick, bro.
Oh man,
I hate you guys.
Hey, Steph,
Man,
please do a take
Bang
with
bang
argue with
buggy
Larry next
gang.
time,
You heard
because
it here
this is
first.
horrendous.
what
My
happened?
only goal was to argue with Larry for at least 30 minutes. And I had to agree with him. I've never in my life been sitting there watching the stream and been like, yo, Larry's spitting. And now I'm over here agreeing and arguing with his mans. Like, what?
Listen, one, I want to say two things. DDT Larry is different than Stream Larry, right? He be more sound. And two, you was wrong. You chose the wrong side of this argument.
No one beat Kaido. No, Roger, Whitebeard.
Oh my God!
Jumped out the window
That's
right there, huh?
Yeah.
You had me in the first half.
Listen, Larry, this is who you was agreeing with. All right? I need you to understand that. This is the same mind.
Where did my take go wrong?
You just said Kaido's being Roger, Rocks, Whitebeard, doesn't matter.
I said nobody beats Kaido except for those individuals. That's
No, he's right.
No, you're tripping. You're tripping.
Yeah.
I heard you wrong. I heard you wrong.
That's
too.
different. That's different.
No, I understand. That was deserving of disrespect.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
I wasn't the only one that heard him say that, right?
Yeah,
right.
I heard that too.
It's all right.
That makes sense.
I was like, wow.
Should have phrased
I
that
don't
better.
know about that one.
Yeah.
Roger, literally the king of pirates. Y'all thought I meant the other way around? That's crazy.
Yeah. For a second.
Some people, bro, you never know.
Yeah, this DDT
I was
gets
like,
a little
yeah.
crazy.
And Larry, I'm gonna get on you for all the chat disrespect too.
What you
'Cause You
mean?
be saying we dumb, and that's rude.
Listen.
You be calling
That
Oda
is
dumb,
rude.
too.
Listen, I be saying y'all don't know what y'all be talking about, bro.
You
He
don't
just
wanna
said
listen
that,
to what we
Larry.
be talking
That's
about.
what he just said.
Gang up on Larry Day. I love it.
I get ganged up every day, bro.
I can't. Larry, the only one with common
Pause.
sense here, because y'all think Crocodile is getting past Mihawk or Kaido. Like what?
I'm saying he doesn't have to. He's not fighting Kaido. You know what I'm saying? There's a
That's
difference. I'm saying
Not
Kaido and
moving
Mihawk are gonna be scrapping. It's gonna be a
Kaido
fun.
stands right here, bro. Who getting past him? Who's speed blitzing past Kaido? Now, what? The
Look,
conversation's
Dylan,
over. I already lost.
All I'm saying, Valen, where you messed up was agreeing with Larry. You need to stay in here and disagree.
true.
on the
Listen,
next
man.
It's true. Larry has bad takes.
Listen, bro.
Yo, y'all so mean.
Listen, bro. Just name one speed feat Mihawk has. Name if he has Conqueror's Hockey. Name if he has Conqueror's Coding. Tell me if he has Future Sight, or like to the point where like he can hit Luffy pre-time skip during Marineford War. Like, let me know, bro. And I'll gladly be like, you right. But until then, y'all need to take a seat back and watch Kaido do his thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just like, I mean, we don't obviously.
Can we
like,
unmod
we're gonna
Larry?
Get,
I wish.
we're gonna
I wish.
we're gonna
Can we
get
do
to the
that?
point where we see like Mihawk actually like go all out. But I also think there's just like a tad bit of like the fact that we've just seen Kaido and like we've seen him perform, and like I don't know, I for some reason I really do think that Mihawk is on that type of level. But it also goes with what I said before when we were talking about the Admirals when it comes to like Zoro having that fight with, you know, Fuji or Kizaru or whatever. I just think that end of series is where they're going to be. And I think that Zoro needs to reach that level. So I need to give that to Mihawk because Mihawk's the goal. So I think that end of series, that's where Zoro needs to be. And I think that that's pretty much around Yonko level, at least like not, you know, buggy type level, but like actual Yonko, like actually deserve the name type thing. So that's just what I think, and that's just like my take on that. But and I don't agree with it just being like one step above. Like I don't think Zoro's there. Like I think we still got a ways to go, and I think that he needs to master Conquerors and do more as well as Blackened Blades. And I think that that is a level that's probably like 3 or 4 rungs up for me.
All right, so I'll say this one last thing, and then we'll just end it. Mihawk has a black blade. We don't know if he blackened it, right? We expect that he's supposed to be on par with Shanks, right? He's supposed to have all these great things that you guys think he has, and he's going to be able to hurt Kaido and take him on and hold him back better than Yamato would, right? But from what I remember, the dude had to ask Vista to stop fighting so he could go handle some other biz. He couldn't just push through Vista. He had to ask Vista to chill out. And we know that Vista... Is Vista stronger than Marco? Do we know he's stronger than Joe's? Is he stronger than Whiteboard? Like, if a person has to ask somebody else, like, yo, can we chill out? Like, I gotta go do something. And he goes, all right, let's handle it later.
Right. So here's some small pushback. Just small.
Like,
It's not. You're not gonna take it super serious, but swordsman etiquette. If there's truly 2 swordsmen, it's like, you know what, let's finish it later. Bow out, move along. Hey, I'm just saying, if we're looking at portrayal and narrative, that would be swordsman etiquette. And as the world's greatest swordsman, you've got to keep up, you know, appearances. You can't just be a butthole out there. You gotta keep your title tarnished. You know, you gotta shine it up a little bit.
I'm at the point where like Vista is the world's strongest swordsman. There's 2 of them at this point.
I think that's more recently
is not
biased.
strong video the next one since you got Blackbeard
I'm
already.
about to.
Is that what
I'm
you're
about to.
setting up right now?
Yo, because Mihawk at this point is the same as Blackbeard at this point.
I think that'll be the most disliked video on YouTube.
So Dragon's a fraud too, right?
Dragon lucky. Dragon ain't got enough for me to even say if he's a fraud or not. I just know he hasn't done anything.
You won't even rank him.
I won't rank him. Why should I?
No.
That's weak.
So Rox is a fraud too, right?
Oh hell no! He reigned above 4. He reigned above 3 other conquerors. What we talking? Yo, don't get into this Rocks conversation, bro.
What are his
Nah. It literally stated
that fat L to Roger. What are his feats?
It literally
All
stated
the Yonko he had, he still lost. So what are we talking about?
Okay, it literally stated that he was Roger's strongest adversary.
So strongest
Yo,
of a
it
bunch of
stated
people
that
didn't make you strong.
Mihawk was Shanks' rival, yo. It stated that. What? Who cares?
Right, because they fought. Hold on. They fought 12 plus years ago.
Big facts.
And the last time we know about Roger and Rox fighting, who won?
But,
Roger, right?
But at the end of the day,
Party. Roger fought Rox like 13 years before he was the Pirate King, yo. What are we talking about?
All right, bro.
But the last time they fought, who won, right?
All right, bro. If you think if you think it was only Roger and Garp who fought Rocks, Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki, and freaking just cut it, bro. Like that's your belief, bro. Then you stick to that,
bro.
That's
not what I said. But do I think Roger and Rocks fought a 1v1 like every other fight between strong people in anime that we've seen in One Piece? Yeah, I think that happened rather than them all jumping rocks, which we haven't seen except the fight with Kaido, who's just a subordinate on his crew. Because Roger's the Pirate King.
Yeah.
Does it make sense that he jumped rocks? No.
Yes, it does. You want to know why? Because Rocks reigned over 3 conquerors, and his goal was to become, because your hockey is supposed to match your ambition, right? It was supposed to. He was wanting to become the ruler of the world.
Right.
The ruler. He didn't want to become some measly pirate king. You know what I'm saying?
At that point. He manipulated 3 conquerors.
He manipulated. So you could just manipulate conquerors?
No, he's saying he might have.
All right, bro.
Hold on.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom, bro.
I don't think that he
I'm going to the
manipulated
bathroom,
them.
Bro, Big Mom.
I don't think he manipulated them. I think honestly, I think Rocks was basically just Luffy. I think that he just brought them under him, under the pretenses, the same way that Luffy did. I mean, he has the way.
Taku, Party's point is that we don't know, but he's willing to give Rocks all the credit, but because we don't know with other characters, they don't get the same treatment.
They're all frauds except Rocks.
Yeah.
I also want to.
He was there a long time ago.
Yeah, I also want to know who does he think else was at God Valley that made that so different?
Right, all the King's men were fighting there with him to make it make sense that the other Garp and Sengoku and Rayleigh or whatever weren't fighting Big Mom and Kaido and Whitebeard, and Roger didn't fight a 1v1.
You know what doesn't make sense?
I don't even think Rayleigh was there.
Hold on. Well, it doesn't make sense that Larry thinks that Rocks is the guy, right? But Roger, with less help, won the fight and then had 13 more years to get strong.
Right.
How does
where's
that
the
make
get
sense?
back? If you ask me, where's the get back?
He died, bro. How does that make sense? I had to
kill one of his main mans or nothing. Where's the get back?
Party. The man had a stacked deck, stronger help, according to Larry. Still lost, and then the guy had straight up 13 more years or whatever to get stronger. But somehow,
like when the Warriors
Rocks
lost
is
his Cavs
one.
in the finals at one time.
That makes sense, man. But
I don't think Rayleigh was there.
That's wild. Why not?
So
is
when
Zoro
he was
not
telling,
with Luffy at his major fight? Like, what are we talking about?
But when he was talking, when they were talking about it, Sengoku didn't even say he was there with Garp. And he only ever mentioned that it was Garp and Roger. Nobody
because those
else.
are the 2 most famous names. We didn't hear about Rayleigh till we saw him at an auction.
Yeah, but when he was talking, we knew who Rayleigh was. So he could have easily been like, oh, the Roger crew and Garp teamed up to take on Rocks. But he specifically just said it was Roger and Garp. So we have no idea who else was there to even be able to compete.
Why would anybody besides
still,
the leader of the group get recognition?
But even so say it was just Roger and Garp, the people we know that were there. That means Roger and Garp fought Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, and Rocks and fucking won. Oh, excuse my language.
That means that Rocks.
I think there were more people there. I think there were more people there.
No, but we don't know. That's what we just said. We don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. We're going to have to end the discussion there. It was fun. But I'm going to drop y'all and get a new group in to discuss the next topic. Stick around if you guys want. We might be able to bring you back in for a later discussion on a different matchup. But I appreciate all the insights.
I guess.
I don't get to argue before Larry today. Like before this ends, I will be hurt.
No, stick around,
I
bro.
want to hear them argue. Just keep villaining. Just keep the rest of it.
I might even keep villaining.
To disagree with, so you know.
I might even keep villaining just because he didn't speak as much as y'all did because he was late.
Well, it's his first time being here.
I was at work. I was you guys called my name while I was driving, and I had my laptop in my passenger seat, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was so mad.
Dylan, drive safe, bro. Be wild.
That's why I didn't unmute myself. It was because I was driving.
All right, Dylan, we see you.
I got to get up early for training, so I have to dip out. But I appreciate all.
All right, nerd. Good seeing you, Tasha, as always, brother.
See you,
always.
Real quick, Larry, Ragnar's telling me I gotta change his vote. So, do you remember what his vote was? Was it Mihawk and Crocodile or Kaido and...
Why are we acting like Ragnar's vote counts? I mean,
Right? Does one vote?
Listen,
does one
hold
vote
on.
change this at all?
Jesus Christ.
If it goes to 6-4, I can bring another group in and change things.
but why?
You know, I feel like we should. You know, personally, I feel like we should move on because we've been talking about this for like 2 hours, right?
That's true.
Plus,
That's true.
it's 7-3, right? So even
Yeah.
still, that would be 7-4 or 6-4.
Or it could be
That's
8-2, and I could get more disrespectful.
I mean,
just
maybe
don't
you should get
remember
another
what
group
his
because we
thing was.
were. You might have pulled all the
Don't, bro.
Mihawk
Don't
people.
get more
I mean, you know.
disrespectful.
It is
It's
Kaido.
not
I'll be fair. It is
It's not
Kaido.
cool.
Maybe you do need to get another group.
I don't know. I think he's saying
15
change the
player.
vote for Kaido. All right. What is it? Ragnar, was your vote originally... I'm going to just drag Ragnar in here real quick.
Oh,
He
great.
One
says vote
second.
for Kaido.
Here we go.
Ragnar, speak your piece. 2 seconds, man. I'm dropping everybody else.
He said 2 seconds.
All right. So I was in a Discord, and Oz brought up a good point. He was asking, based on the tournament settings, do the competitors know the other competitors in the tournament?
Like who the future brackets are?
Like they don't have to know about the future brackets. Do they know about the other brackets?
Sub.
What was that? What was that? That was my face.
Yeah, do they know about the other brackets?
No. That's just me
All right.
spitballing right now. Like I didn't
All
think
right.
about that at all.
All right. The idea was that if Kaido knew Shanks was in another bracket, there's no way he's holding back no matter what.
Oh man. I mean, I suppose. But yeah, we're gonna stick with the no. What was your
Yeah, it's all
original
good.
vote? What was your original vote?
It was for Mihawk and Crocodile, just based on
Alright.
Crocodile would have enough time to dehydrate.
Okay. All right, cool. Cool. All right, Ragnar, I'm dropping you again.
It's all
Appreciate it.
good.
All right, my bad. And I apologize. My brother FaceTimed me. All right. Let's move along here.
I'm never not disappointed in chat. Ever.
Stop disrespecting our fan base, bro.
Never.
All right?
They disrespect me every day, bro.
You be deserving it. Chad don't deserve that. You do. But all right. Our next matchup is Kizaru and Fujitora versus Shanks and Buggy. As always,
You're probably
if
gonna want to
one-
get Hime in here
Yeah.
and
he
CD.
may go be in this one. Yeah. I said it's unfair though, low key. Like, you know? Like I know they want to debate for it, but it's like that's like automatic 2 votes for one side. But whatever. Yeah. Kizaru and Fujitora versus Shanks and Buggy. We're gonna bring about 4 of you guys in, because we got a decent amount of you guys in here. And what we'll do is go one by one. Please stay muted until you're called upon and give your take. Who you got, what diff, and why. We'll go with Hime, CD. I'll go Javerse. If it'll let me add him. Hold on. And let's go with Oz. Oz was in here a while.
Oh, I'm in here? All right.
There we go. Oh my god.
Oh, snap.
Do you want one more person? What's going on with you, Sub? You look like you're struggling.
I am struggling. Because I'm on the iMac, every time I get a FaceTime, it like shuts all this down and tries to bring
So
that
who
in.
do you want?
Oh, we'll go with Shin. We'll go Shin. Bring Shin in.
All right. Everybody's in.
What's up,
All right.
Howdy,
What
What's
folks.
up, y'all?
What up? What up? What up?
Yo.
What up, gang?
All right. Yeah, I know the rules. Who we gonna go with first? We'll do ladies first. Hime, what's up? How you doing? Who you got? What diff? Why? I don't even know I'm calling on you. I should just put your vote in. But whatever. Who you got?
Yo, honestly, y'all know I'm always like debating with logic.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true.
And
Mm-hmm.
Please, your take on the last one, you were saying like, oh, I'm so disappointed with the chat. Fam, we are disappointed in you. like even me who agree 99% of the time with you, I was like, he cannot be real at the moment. Like he's lying for sure. He's gonna be like, yo, I was capping y'all. No, he didn't say it. Anyways, so moving on from the disappointment. So listen. Y'all saw film Red, right? Y'all saw how these two pussies couldn't do anything against Shanks, right? So I'm just saying, like Shanks can take the two of them alone. That's like, I don't even need to put like Pig Buggy in the fight. Like he could just, hide, and Shanks could take these two alone. So just because of Shanks, they would win. But also, like, he got his, longtime friend Buggy with him. And y'all know Buggy and never died. He is like immortal. He's gonna always stay alive. I'm telling you, everybody's gonna die in One Piece, but he is gonna stay alive. So Buggy has this in him. So I think like Shanks could, like, just take on one of them easily, and then Buggy just have to like survive a bit, or at least, or just stick by Shanks the whole time. He could do that. So I'm saying Shanks and Buggy. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna say hi Diff. As I said, it's because of Red movie that I'm saying this, because like they didn't even want to pull a small fight just because of his hockey. So that's why I'm not saying extreme Diff. So yeah, that's my take. And Buggy Gang for sure.
All right, that's fine. Oz.
Yeah, what's up, boys?
up?
Okay, He-Man was just wilding real quick, but okay.
Calling
For
people
this,
pussies and that shit was wild.
yo,
Yeah,
facts, bro. Like we're not in the chat, He-Man. You gotta be screaming. We PG-13 out here, bro. Well, for this one, I'm pretty sure since Film Red wasn't like canon, I'm not gonna include that. So I'm just gonna go with what we know, and I feel like, dude, Buggy Gang 101 for life, but he's too much of an anchor for this one. I feel like Kizaru and Fujitora got this one, so I'm gonna have to go with them. Extreme of the extremist highs to over like planetary high, whatever the highest extremes of the highest extremes, I'm gonna have to go with that one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, quick question. I'm sorry, because this is for the people that's in the chat, right? So, do the fighters know what other fighters are in this tournament?
Oh, Ragnar
No.
came in and asked that.
Yeah, Ragnar came in. Yeah, we said nah, just because.
No.
I feel like it
okay.
impact. Yeah, I don't know what the impact for the other fights. I don't know if that would have. I don't know.
Well, the only reason why I asked that was because of the Kaido thing. Because I feel like if he knew Shanks and other people were going to be in there, Mihawk and Croc, they're out. But yeah, all right. So I just needed to know that because I'm a Kaido stan. So yeah, Kizaru and Fujitora, extremists of the extreme high.
All right, Javerse.
All right, so I'm gonna have to give it to Kizaru and Fujitora. I feel like for two reasons. Mobility wise, I feel like they can both not only hold off Shanks even like the slightest, but they also have the mobility to just get away in general and chase down Buggy. I feel like especially Fujitora could use his gravity to at least slow down Shanks or push him back with like vertical gravity so that he could get to Buggy and just like crush him to death. Or if like even what's called a stray meteor and like what's Kizaru's attack? The beads. Like the widespread laser shot he does.
Maganatoro light, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's too much going on for Buggy to be able to just dodge his way through it all. He does have the luck of the devil, but I can't see it this time.
Okay, that's fair. Shin.
Yo,
What's up, my boy?
I ain't gonna.
Yo, Shin.
Shin, you're like in and out.
Shin, can you repeat? We couldn't hear you.
Lie. I ain't gonna lie. He may never. Y'all can hear me now? Hello?
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all can hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, the disrespect he made was putting on the Admirals. Let's just cut that out
Did
right
you
now.
see
Like,
Red?
Wow.
Did you see Red?
You know I seen One
Wow.
Piece film mid. I seen film mid. It was that is not even canon, so I'm not even trying to bring that into the
It was
conversation.
canon in my heart, Sam.
Oh my god.
Let it be known.
The take you just had on the Admirals, terrible. Second,
Nah.
Buggy is exactly what I said. An anchor, like the heaviest anchor you can think of. If Buggy is not on Shanks' hip, like if he's not on Shanks' hip, Buggy is losing. Like of course they use a sword. Fujitora uses a sword, but they both have devil fruit, so they don't have to use a sword. And the speculation of this tournament, you just have to get one person out. Kizaru has area of effect attacks. So them light beams that he shine from the sky to smite people, yeah, if Buggy get hit with one of those, he out of commission. What? Like, he's out. Like, Buggy get hit with multiple light beams, he done with it. Like, he's not tanking them like they did in One Piece Film Z like Z did. He's not doing that. And Fujitora, with his gravity fruit, honestly, if he's precise enough with his gravity fruit, he can honestly use them on different body parts of Buggy and separate all his limbs and, like, just put him out of commission. Yeah, Shanks is good. Don't get me wrong. But, like, these are Admirals we're talking about. Like, Shanks might be able to hold off two of them. I don't think no Yonko can beat, like, two, like, high-tier Admirals. Like, no Yonko is doing that. Like, I don't care what nobody say. They're Admirals for a reason. They are the strongest Marine force that the Marines have. So they're going to be obviously strong enough. They're all hockey masters. They are very proficient with their devil fruit. And, like, what else can I say? There's really nothing else to say. Buggy is going to lose. Like, and once Buggy loses, the match is over. Even though we all Buggy gang, like, yeah, Buggy, yeah, we love the troll.
I want to say all of us.
We love the gag. We love Buggy. Like, yeah, but, like,
Buggy game 101.
Bro.
Like, he can't do nothing. Buggy will still lose to pre-time skip Luffy. Like, what are we talking about?
Facts.
Yeah, but he was never dying.
Okay, that's okay.
Probably...
You just got to get put out of commission for this tournament. You don't have to die.
Bro.
Put him out of commission. He's gonna get knocked
Y'all?
out. He's got the light beams definitely killing him. Like, I don't know why you don't think he's not dodging speed of light bullets.
You're underestimating his devil fruit. His devil fruit is hacks, bro. Like, this could be the adversity he needs to awaken, bro. You don't know.
Okay. He can move light speed.
Hang on, Larry.
Answer that. Can he move light speed?
One at a time. Go ahead, Shin.
I don't think he can move light speed, right? He can't move. He has no speed feats,
That's
actually.
the thing.
Like, none.
Even if he cannot, like, let's say, get stronger and, like, beat anybody in that fight, bro, Shanks can legit alone take on these two.
That's why I said Buggy literally has to be on his hip.
Yeah,
like,
fam,
literally,
he can be.
He can't let go of his jersey. He cannot let go of
Shanks'
jersey.
Bro,
like,
with
he
Shanks'
has to be on
hockey,
him.
I'm pretty sure he could, like, he could stop, like, any attack coming from these two.
Okay, let me tell you something.
I don't feel like he
his hockey
Admirals.
is not gonna, like, knock out the Admirals. Let's get that straight. It's not.
Yeah, but it's gonna scare them, bro. Like,
they're gonna be
I don't care, but Red has truth in it. The Red ending has truth.
If we can even throw in Red, what they say when I got hit with that hockey. Oh snap! That's some good
why
hockey
would they?
got there, but we can still duke it out. We can still duke it out.
Why
what
would they show them? Why would they show them as so weak? Because it's true. Against Shanks, they were weak.
God. So Shanks hockey
so scared. They were so scared. They're like, no. I'm just, if you should trashy Tora was like putting his sword back, and like Kizaru was like, fuck that. I'm too scared.
Tora is a new one.
So if they, so they just gonna be like, oh snap, Shanks got that hockey. We done with the tournament.
Yeah,
we made it this far. Quarterfinals good enough.
Exactly.
Quarterfinals good enough. Like, no,
exactly, bro.
They not finna do that. They finna. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. This man, his hockey ain't nothing to play with, but we got to do what we got to do. So we finna speed with Buggy right there.
Then?
But
Honestly, if they
Film-
2v1 him, they could probably
Why?
take out Shanks before they take out Buggy.
And not only that, they had civilians against them. Yeah, Kizaru was on go with the civilians. Don't get me wrong, but Fujitora was not.
Okay, right now we don't even know if there's civilians around them. So what's the point of
It's
that
not.
argument?
That's why they wasn't going full out in the. Because there was civilians around them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
So
what happened in Marriage to War. Larry, I see your face. I'm not trying to hear it. Like that's exactly what happened in Marriage to War. That's what happened in Film Red. It is blasphemous if y'all think they went full power in Film Red. Even if it's not canon, that is so blasphemous. I don't even think
also, you're
seen
assuming
Kizaru go
they
full
go in
power.
full power now too. Like, what do you know if there's civilians around? You don't know.
It's a tournament. Who's gonna go power to not lose?
Bro, I'm just saying we don't know the factors, like the context of the fight. We don't know. We just know they're going against each other. We don't know.
Teammate, that is wild.
I'm done. Kizaru Fujitora, mid-def.
Yo, Larry,
Mid?
don't you have a podcast with Hime and Tibe?
Matter of fact,
happening?
I say high dip just for the respect Shanks deserve. Just because we can get
Can't
Buggy out of
believe you
there. It's
said
Buggy.
mid.
Get him out of there.
Larry,
Buggy's
what's
gone.
going on, bro? Seb, what's happening right now?
What do you mean?
Why do y'all let her wild out like this, bro?
Listen, bro. Everybody
There's some
walls
truth in
out,
the
bro.
madness.
So Oz, you went, Hime went, Shin went. Verse, you went or no?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we all went.
All right. I think Sebastian went to the bathroom. So Shin, I do want to say, bro, that they did get the okay to kill civilians in Film Red. Just FY.
They did.
Okay. Non-canon, but okay.
Yeah, it's non-canon though. But what I will say is there's too much left unsaid about. So I have Kizaru and Fujitora. Now I would pick Shanks and Buggy based on how strong I believe Shanks is to be, but I don't know what Kizaru currently has in his bag, and I think that because it's two admirals together, that I don't know if Shanks could just like shut off some of their abilities the way he did with like Green Bull. And I don't know what abilities those would be. Yes, I do believe that his Conqueror's Haki can do like an extreme amount of things. I just don't know what that is. So I don't have the imagination for it, to be honest. But I don't have much to add to this. I think that there's too much to deal with for Shanks. And I just don't think if like Kizaru's blitzing and then, Fujitora's using gravity, like there's too much. There's just too much.
All right, my bad. I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Hope I didn't miss too much in regards to the arguments. I heard a lot of yelling. It was
Um,
probably Hime and Shin.
Y'all don't see the vision.
Quick
don't.
question. Quick
Bro,
question. Y'all don't think that having Fujitora and Kizaru together is kind of broken? Bro, those two devils together is ridiculous, bro.
And not only that, I don't think Fujitora can probably use his gravity field the whole arena. Because honestly, Light has no mass, so he can't. Like Kizaru would not get hurt by that gravity at all, so he can literally just gravitize the whole arena.
That's not how
and he
light
won't get
gravity
hurt.
works.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
gravity actually bends light.
Bends light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
My bad.
it would be
All right,
kind
y'all
of.
keep
It
going.
would throw off the aim.
It depends
keep
though.
going.
He could
No, I
bend
feel
it
like-
to their will though. You know what I mean? Like if he wants to move it to where he wants to move it to, he could, but
Yeah. But like I was saying, I think there's like too much AoE attacks that these two have in combination that Shanks can't stop them all. No matter how much I want to believe that he probably could, he's not stopping 15 meteors and 1,000 light beams raining down on Muggy.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've actually seen before Loki in the manga, and it was Zoro and Usopp versus Gyabra and Kaku, and you remember how much of an anchor Usopp was. That Zoro was trying his hardest to compete with both of them while carrying literally Usopp, and he couldn't overcome them in that light.
Well, there's
And
a
these-
difference. There's a difference.
Who are the two?
There's-
Yeah,
yeah.
Who are the two fighters?
Listen, I'm just saying, this is like, Zoro was stronger than both Gyabra and Kaku, the same way Shanks is stronger than both Kizaru and Fujitora. But they're just so much stronger than Usopp, the same way that Fujitora and Kizaru is so much stronger than Buggy that like anything that they do would probably kill Buggy. Even accidentally, they could probably kill Buggy. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, but
like
can I
Shin
say
was
something?
saying though, Zoro kept Usopp on his hip, like how Buggy needs to be on Shanks' hip for this fight if they want to make it through.
But the difference is they didn't have the means to actually remove Usopp from Zoro's hip the way that the Admirals do. Like, Fujitora can straight up remove Buggy from Shanks' hip at will, you know, with his Devil Fruit. So it's like, and the speed that Kizaru can move at, it's like, it's just, to me, it's just too much. It's too much. And again, I rank the Admirals higher than probably, but I think it's too much. So my vote is for the Admirals. I think, Larry, you said you were voting Admirals. I think only he.
Yeah, but can I say one last thing?
Shanks
Okay,
and Buggy.
I feel like one of Shanks' powers that with his hockey, he can make people he can make them not be able to use their devil fruits as much as they can, just like what he did with Green Bull. So maybe because of that, they won't be able to use their full power, and it's gonna give them a chance for Shanks and Buggy to actually win this fight because of this. This is a big factor, also, and I feel like you guys are forgetting that he can do that.
He-Man, are you sick?
Can I?
I'm not sick, bro.
I hear nasally.
No, I'm not sick.
Hime, the way you said it, you said that if Shanks's hockey can do that, then that. But that's only if they, and you said that's just to give them a chance, just a chance.
Yeah, and I'm putting
That's
everything on that chance.
That's
bro.
not enough for Kizaru and Fujitora.
That's real conviction right there.
Yeah.
No, but we saw him do this to Green Bull. Why wouldn't he be able to do this with these guys that we saw in a non-canon like film? Also,
Well, one,
I'm pretty sure
think,
it would happen.
I think most of us would acknowledge that Fujitora. One, and two, I don't know. I just they have more Hawk's abilities than him. Like one of them's moving at the speed of light, and the other one's manipulating. It's not like a tree is growing. Like you know what I mean? Like
about the canosity of Film Red. We know it's non-canon, but Oda refused to comment on it, whether it was canon or not, based on like the ending of the movie, whether Uta was actually dead.
I'm gonna say what Larry says all the time. Oda be lying, bro.
He do.
I mean, this time he just didn't answer the question.
Oda be lying,
We really
bro.
follow what Oda does. Oda is never gonna let Buggy die. You know.
Good thing he's not in this tournament. Good thing he's not in this tournament. He may stop it.
I will say off the bat though, if it was just Shanks, I think Shanks beats both of them.
Jesus Christ, the disrespect.
1,000%.
Oh my God.
1,000%.
Did you hear this, bro?
I'm listening, but I can't believe my ears. I can't believe it.
Yo, you need to believe
be
the
real.
facts, bro.
I don't think that's an extremely bad take or anything. I think it's
not
possible.
a bad take.
I don't think it's true. I think it's possible.
I mean, like in another universe, it's infinite universes. I guess. Like,
Not in the real universe, bro.
Nah. Y'all
Yeah.
hold Shanks too high. We just gotta call my boy Sea King, and he over here.
Yeah, I cannot wait for Shanks to do something in the anime, and you guys just be
I
like,
want him to do something.
Right.
He never does something. He never does anything.
Because Oda is like.
That's the point. He hasn't done anything yet. That's the point. He hasn't done
things. He has done things.
He's done things.
He's done more things than a lot of other characters, bro, that are top tier.
No. One with that, but I'm saying like to actually just put him right over the Admirals like that. I feel like he hasn't done enough.
Okay,
like
so
when people say that the thing that he did to Green Bull, I believe it was Traverse. I think it was Traverse who brought it up that in the book it said that Shanks's hockey was like a tier above Rayleigh's. And I think even you, Larry, were the one that said, yeah, but I feel like that just goes with all those top tier people that could also do that same thing. And I believe you even brought Kaido up and Whitebeard, like Prime Whitebeard and stuff.
Okay,
like that.
so has
Marineford. Like, did y'all forget?
I mean, he was like sick.
I forgot he did say a poem in Marineford. He did say a
Bro,
poem.
everybody was like, yo, let's stop the war. Like, when they saw Shanks, bro. Like,
because we already got done fighting. If you fighting somebody,
bro,
and somebody else strong, come on, let's fight again.
Your boy Blackbeard was like, peeing in his pants when he saw him. Okay.
No, and you know what he said? He said, "My crew is not ready for y'all yet."
Yeah,
That's
he
exactly what he
because
said.
because
No,
he
he
will
didn't.
never be
No,
ready
he
for
didn't say
them.
that either.
Whatever you say.
He said we're not ready. He didn't say
Whole
me and
lot
my
of-
crew. He didn't say my crew.
So who is
isn't ready.
we? Who is we?
Himself, who thought he was invincible after he just obtained the Goro Goro no Mi. He said he was invincible, that nobody could take him on. Shanks showed up. He said we ain't ready. All right.
He was talking about his crew. That's we. That's
No, bro,
him
he's
and
talking
his
about him
crew.
himself. You can't claim you're invincible,
So
and then
he
somebody
two
shows. Hold
people?
on, Shin. You can't
He
claim
two
that you're
people
invincible, and all of a
now?
sudden you
He's
can't do
talking about
nothing.
his multiple personality
Come on,
disorder, bro.
Oh my, that's the theory. That is a hypothetical. That is a hypothetical.
I didn't say that.
Yo, y'all too funny, bro.
Somebody take the
Y'all
mic
will
away.
argue. Y'all will argue anything. This is
And
too funny.
then hold on. Y'all saying that
man.
like, hold on. Y'all saying that Shanks doesn't have feet too for a second. You were saying that, right? Like, am I wrong?
I mean,
They
he
were
does have
saying-
a very stoic look. I mean,
Okay. So have any of the admirals ever split a sky?
Never that.
Okay, so that hasn't happened, right? So that's one feat he has over the admirals. And who has done that so far in the show?
Yonko.
Kaido, Big Mom.
Yeah. So
Yonko.
the strongest people in the show. So I can literally just say that one feat is stronger than anything another admiral has ever done.
But that doesn't mean he could beat two of them. Though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
think
William
two of them
Scott,
either.
like, I don't think Luffy Admiral Sky. Like, I don't see that.
Give me a
In-
Kizaru and a Fujitora feat.
It's not even that. It's the fact that like I saw a person on the sea floor. I mean, on the sea level, the water level of the sea, shoot his hockey into the middle of Wano, and the admiral was like, "All right, I'm good."
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think anybody here is going to
Even
say that
before-
Shanks isn't stronger than the Admirals.
Listen.
I
We're
don't
not-
think that
yeah,
anybody's
that's what I'm
saying that.
Okay. Even before Buggy and Shanks arrives, Buggy's gonna beat one of them from a distance.
All
He
right,
may
I'm
stop
just
me.
saying.
we're gonna have to
He
drop
may,
you.
he may. You about to get,
What-
you about to get muted, girl.
I do want to make one little
Please,
point.
Yeah,
yo,
let
somebody
me-
take her mic.
I'm-
Don't mute her. Take her mic.
Shanks,
You
what's
know,
called?
man.
We at
It's
least said that, like,
crazy.
Now,
The-
what
the-
offensive or defensive capabilities does Buggy have? Like Jesus,
He doesn't have any.
Serious question, y'all. If Fujitora drops a meteor and Shanks cuts it, is Buggy surviving the after? Like, he's surviving the meteor landing on the ground? Like, is he gonna survive?
Shanks gonna protect
I
him,
mean,
and also
Buggy has
he
survived
will because
being frozen by Aokiji. Like
And-
he
Yo,
Yo,
eventually.
but mad people survive. Everybody who's ever been.
bro, he's
That's
gonna
true.
cut his body in pieces, in atomic pieces, and he's gonna survive.
So you
I'm
remember?
telling
Oh my
He gonna
god.
flash his way through. I
I'm
see
just
it.
saying things to say it.
So you remember Stampede, the movie Stampede, when like Fuji did drop
yeah.
a meteor, and then Zoro cut it in half, but then Mihawk came through and sliced it into tiny bits.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that Mihawk would just blast the comet away, like it would turn into like dust.
You mean Shanks?
Shanks, yeah.
Can't have you out here hyping Mihawk.
My bad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the thing
I was
is,
surprised. I was like, what?
y'all forgetting it is a 2v2. Kizaru just gonna stand there. Like, what is Kizaru gonna do while the meteor is falling?
No, I agree.
Exactly.
Light being
He's
behind it.
obvious. He's
I
obvious.
agree. I agree.
He's obviously
Shane, I think
gonna.
we all agree. Shane, I think we all agree. The fact that it's just the fact that Buggy is with him. That's the reason why.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Right?
If it was by
Okay,
himself,
cool.
it'd be different.
Right.
This
That-
by
that-
himself.
I think Shanks is still losing the two admirals, but that's me.
Yeah, that's
No,
me.
nah.
Depending on the two admirals. Green Bull can't be in the equation.
I'll give some defense to Shanks here and what's called. While a majority of Film Red isn't canon, the beginning, like the Uta backstory stuff is, right? Like him leaving her on that island.
I think so.
So
Uta is
that
canon.
means-
Uta is
That
canon,
means that
so.
he has fought top Musica and held it off long enough. So I feel like that, that's another little feat you can slap on him.
Wait, what are you're talking about? Okay, you're talking about like the initial like disaster.
Yeah, the very first top Musica when Uta was a child.
Oh yeah, him and his
He
crew
held that
fought
off.
top musical. Yeah, him and his crew.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, let me stop.
Look, all I know is that you need to get TD on the next one because I need
He's
someone who
popping in
defend
now.
Buggy.
He's
Yeah.
popping in now. But I'm gonna drop y'all
And
and get a new group in here. I got some people who've been waiting for a while. But I appreciate the takes, including yours, He-Man. You feel me? I
it's
ain't
facts.
she said facts.
As always, y'all, stick around. You might be able to jump back in for another All right.
All right,
All
G.
right.
Later, guys.
Much love, guys.
Much love.
All right, we're gonna get a pig in here. We're gonna get.
Are you gonna do it, or need me to do it?
I'm trying. It's like a struggle. Yeah, I might need you to do it, bro.
All right.
So let's get CD, Pig, Mr. Bushido, JT, and there was one other, and Messy Hair.
Yo, by the
it
way,
was all here in a minute.
And who else?
You guys are losing it. Seb, you're losing it.
I'm sorry, CD. I just gotta tell it how I see it, man. All right.
I climbed down a pole just so I could talk to you on level ground and you could hear me, okay?
CD, I'll let you go first, man. I know where your vote's going.
Buggy no-diffs him. Buggy literally no-diffs him. And you want to know why? He just activates his Conqueror's Haki and knocks them all out. Simple as that. It's over. It's over.
Oh my god, bro.
Shanks is dead weight, dude. I'm telling you. He'll knock out Shanks just for the fun of it. He's dead weight.
Oh my
Buggy
god,
no-diff.
bro.
Buggy no-diff. End the conversation.
All right, CD. I appreciate the
You guys are sleeping
second
on
Hokage
dude.
PFP.
To this day, Buggy is just acting like the fool. I'll say it over and over again. I'm not giving up on it. He's big braining everyone. He literally has Mihawk and Crocodile underneath his wing.
Yep.
All right. Did I just see a Mr. Bushido face?
Yeah, it's a
Is
face
that-
reveal, bro. Handsome
Is that
guy.
live action right
Handsome
now?
guy, bro.
What's up, y'all?
What up? What up?
What's up, man? I feel like this is the guy, man. He has like the most in-depth theories in the game, and he's
Oh my
just here.
gosh.
You know what I'm saying? What's up, Bushido?
No, excited to be here. It's my first time joining the Davey back tournament. So, thanks.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
man.
man.
Well, you know how it goes. Who you got? What diff and why? Kizaru and Fujitora versus Shanks and Buggy. And I don't know if you know, but as stipulation goes, if one of your combatants loses, you lose the round. So, who you got?
Before that, I got a question. Like, in terms of the tournament as a whole, like, what are the stakes? Like, what incentive do the combatants have to win? You know?
So, and this is my fault. I didn't come up with stakes before. I just was like, all right, whatever tournament. Who you think wins the fights in general? And we didn't create stakes earlier, so people couldn't argue them in the previous matchups. So I think it's a little unfair to add stakes now. So there's no stakes. It's just bragging rights, essentially.
Okay, cool. All right, that makes sense. Put some notes. I think something I already alluded to this, but I feel like, since it's a neutral venue, the Admirals can finally go all out, even though I know, someone said like they could have killed civilians in Film Red, but like Film Red, the canonity of it can work in the Admirals or Shank's favor, so we can just like zero sum, right? I think what's going to come down to is battle IQ, and I think the Admirals, overall have the battle IQ over Buggy. I know Hime was talking about how Buggy, he's really lucky, but I feel like we talked about. I heard y'all saying in the last episode that we can't really give too much in the narrative, which is why we're not going to give Zoro and Sanji the dub for narrative purposes. So for the same reason, I don't think we can give Buggy, well, like narratively, he's lucky, so he'll escape somehow. And I really like that point you made, Seb, about how like because I know someone said in the last episode like, oh, like Buggy could just stay on Shanks and like split up and like kind of hide. But I feel like and I know Usopp did that with Zoro, but like you said, I don't think he'll be able to, because that was against Jabra and Kaku. This is against Admirals, right? So it's a completely different ball game. I think it's just a matter of getting Buggy out there. So yeah, against other enemies, I feel like Buggy's elusiveness and like his ability to kind of run away will work. But when it comes to Admirals who like Kizaru's super fast, he can speed blitz, and then Fujitora can kind of use his gravity devil fruit, right? I think those are two things that can really cancel out Buggy's elusiveness, right? And also Buggy has no Haki to get out of any devil fruit, right? Like we see Law talk about like, oh, Haki can, if I use Haki, I can get out of Doc Q's devil fruit abilities, but Buggy has shown no Haki feats at all. I mean, I love Buggy, Buggy gang all day, every day, and I want him to be strong at the end of the day, but I don't think, in this, since we're not taking narrative into account, just Buggy as he is, he's a huge anchor, and I think he's going to take it out. So I think high diff out of respect to Shanks. I feel like he can still, do something. But at the end of the day, I think, I'll give it to the Admirals high diff.
All right. Well said, well spoken. I feel like Mr. Bushido, he's even more articulate than I thought he would be. After all, I've read so many words from him. I've never heard him speak, so I like that it's even here. All right. But all right. Pig.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
What up? What up?
First off, Larry, are you low on potassium today? Because you've had some real bad takes, man.
Yeah, y'all better leave me and my bananas alone, bro. All right. I bought some today. They're just green. All right, I'm waiting on it.
Have another, man. You need some potassium. Your take's been awful today. With that being said, though, I have to give it to Kizaru and Fujitora because Buggy is an anchor. I mean, yeah, Buggy can split the atom with his fruit and cause a nuclear blast, but, I mean, ain't nobody going to survive that but Buggy, which means his own team's down, too. That just ain't going to work. But the other thing is, we know that Buggy can float and get away from a lot and keep his body split up, but he can only be so far away from his feet that have to stay on the ground. So all Fuji would have to do is lock Buggy's feet down, and he's going to limit Buggy's mobility, and Kizaru can just easily come in with an AoE and take Buggy out that way. And Shanks is fast, but I don't know if he's as fast as Lightspeed. And on top of that, we do still have to worry about Fujitori's gravity possibly being able to slow Shanks down. I know Hockey can negate the effects of Devil Fruits to an extent. I don't know if it'll completely erase the effects, and even if he can get past Fuji's gravity, he still does have Kizaru that can move fast enough to block him. And just between the two Admirals and their feats of speed and strength, Buggy's too much of an anchor. He's just going down. So Kizaru and Fuji take it. As much as I want to see Shanks move on, it goes to the Admirals.
Yo, can we ban them all?
CD, one day we will ban everyone. One day. Pig, what's the diff? What's the diff?
Just because it is Shanks, and we know that he's essentially the biggest obstacle to becoming Pirate King, it's going to be extreme death.
Okay.
It's not going to be easy for them to get to Buggy, but they can do it.
All right. Thank you, Pig. JT, I had to drag you up in here. I forgot to drag you earlier. My bad, bro.
It's all good, man.
Who you got, man? What diff and why?
So first, I'd like to apologize to Celestial Donkey for what I'm about to say. I'm about to get mad disrespectful.
Just ban him right now.
It's basically Shanks protecting dead weight versus two Admirals is what I'm looking at right now. And
Yo, Shanks is the dead weight.
I mean, I feel like, if you got Kizaru, and one thing that you gotta protect against is that speed blitz. Shanks not doing it. Like I think it was Pig that said, if he's gotta worry about the Fujitora's gravity slowing them down as well, Buggy's getting blitzed. And honestly, this gonna sound even more disrespectful, but I got almost low diff because I just feel like it's gonna be a game of defense. It's gonna be a game of defense. I mean, I'll give a mid diff because I just don't see Shanks having the opportunity to go on the attack unless Oda is on crack and give Shanks the ability to actually use Conqueror's Haki to completely stop two Admirals. If that is actually true, and his Conqueror stronger than we think, it's a whole different story. But still, yeah, I got low to mid diff. I can't say high. I just don't see either of them even getting touched for real.
Yo, so ban him and make him rewatch One Piece.
Oh man. All right, JT. Okay. Messy hair.
Hello. I'm sorry, He-Man, I'm sorry, CD, but there's no word or praise that I can even try and defend this. I love Buggy, but I just think he's gonna get one tapped from the gates. Like Shanks is strong, but he's not gonna be able to carry Buggy. So I apologize, but I've got Kizaru and Fujitaro at about high diff. I'm gonna say high diff. I think Shanks is still a threat, but yeah, I'm sorry. Don't attack me.
Oh, trust me, I'm gonna attack you as soon as we get back to the den. I can't. Trust me.
Oh my
You're gonna lose
God.
half your audience by the end of this night because they're gonna be banned.
CD, man, I'm sorry, bro. It just is what it is.
I can't wait to laugh at you guys when he outplays everyone. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I need to elaborate too hard. I got Kizaru and Fujitora. I don't want CD coming after me. They're too strong. They're too strong.
All right. I think that was it. I mean, I feel like this is a landslide. I think everybody else knows it as well. I mean, the mid diff combo is pretty hard to hear because that just sounds wild as hell. But I think I agree with Pig. Most importantly, I think it's very extreme diff. No matter what happens, like as much as Buggy is a dead weight, like what Shanks did to Green Bull was wild, and I think that if we don't take that into account at all, that's like a mistake. Like regardless if we don't know what his AP or defense or speed feats are, we know that he was fast enough to cross all of Marine Ford in order to stop a Kainu's fist without anybody really noticing him. That's a speed feat that nobody likes to talk about, you know? And as much as I think Shanks is that guy, it's just like you said, there's just way too much for him to take on and handle.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can call this one. I don't
Yeah,
think
we have to. We have to.
Yeah. Although it is pretty close in the
Buggy
YouTube
wins.
vote, with 47 votes for the Yonko Bros. I think some of that is just Buggy Gang support.
Yeah, it's
and
Buggy
some
Gang
of it
support. Yeah.
is
It's greatly altered.
And some of it is in the words of Chestnut, Shank Sheep. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but she also thinks that Blackbeard is the strongest in the verse, so it's like,
Yo, Chestnut, that's personal now.
yeah,
That's personal, Chestnut.
Hey, I don't think she's here to defend herself.
Hey, Chestnut said that Nami beats King and Queen, so we don't really respect her opinion anymore.
Well, she didn't say king. She just said queen.
She just said queen.
Yeah, she said queen.
I think Happiness Punch could probably put some work in on Queen, but that's neither here nor there.
Sure.
But all right. That was kind of a short debate. I think we could keep them in to start this one before we bring in another group. Larry?
Yeah, it's
Right?
cool. Plus, Bushido was waiting for a while. He said so. I want to hear more.
Yeah, JT as well. So was Pig. So get y'all
So
in here for a
Shanks and
second one.
Buggy won, right?
Nah,
Shanks and
they didn't.
They didn't.
Yeah, they did, but not in the actual.
Sorry. Yeah, in the YouTube chat they winning. And it's close.
Yo.
49 votes, 51 to 49. So I don't know.
All I gotta say is for the people out in the YouTube chat, let's go Buggy Gang. They definitely won that fight. Don't listen to these guys. They won.
CD, before you come for me, man, you know I'm Buggy Gang till the day I die. You know Larry is too. I mean, who else has a Buggy cosplay in their closet? You know Larry's Buggy Gang till the day he dies.
I was forced into that.
I don't know if it's still in his closet, Pig. It might be in the garbage. I don't know. I don't know if it's still there.
He built a stride to it. He's capping on all of us.
But all right, we have our next matchup. It should be an interesting one. It's Luffy and Nami versus Mihawk and Crocodile. I am really curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. And we'll start with JT.
I mean, first off, this is a good one, but at the same time, it's like when I really think about the matchup, Nami is probably one of the worst matchups for Crocodile. So I'm gonna say it's gotta at least be Luffy, and Luffy can definitely stall Mihawk. And I'm saying Nami. I mean, with her abilities, with even Zeus now, like she can basically low diff Crocodile, low to mid diff Crocodile, in my opinion, right now. So, yeah, even if she's hockeyless. So yeah, I'm gonna say Luffy and Luffy and Nami. I'll say mid to high. I'll say mid to high because I think that he can definitely, especially if he's going gear fifth, and he beat Kaido. Like I know that there's speculations he didn't really beat him like legitimately. I guess you can say whatever, but I mean he still did bang out with the Yonko. So I'm gonna say mid diff.
You said Luffy and Nami mid diff.
Luffy, Nami, mid diff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Messy here.
Hello. I agree. I think Luffy and Nami are going to take this low to mid diff. I think Luffy just defying common sense. He will just always end up on top. He'll do anything. But I think Nami's also just going to slam Croc. Maybe Mihawk as well. But I've got, I agree. Luffy, Nami, mid diff.
Okay. Pig.
This is a tough one. I know Nami's definitely a bad matchup for Crocodile, especially given that she now has Zeus and we've seen Zeus access hockey. So Nami can just drench Crocodile and just use Zeus to beat him to a pulp. I don't know if she actually has the physical strength to do that, but she's incredibly smart. She is very intelligent. And I think Luffy, with access to Gear 5th and just the amount of hockey and mastery over his hockey he has, stands a decent shot against Mihawk. But with Mihawk being a swordsman and Luffy having issues going against swords, we have to take into consideration how strong Mihawk's hockey is going to be against Luffy's, because we know that hockey can be broken through with stronger hockey. So that's really a consideration we have to take in here. And on top of that, we have to also worry about speed. Now, I've never seen Luffy fight harder than when he's trying to protect somebody, especially one of his Nakama. So I'm going to give it to Luffy and Nami, but I'm not going to go with any nonsense mid-diff. It's going to be extreme diff because I could really see it going either way.
Okay. All right. Bushido.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think y'all had in the podcast, y'all had Mihawk above Luffy, right? When y'all did the top 30.
Yeah,
I
unfortunately.
think y'all did, right? Which I agree with at this moment and when the story is, because Luffy still doesn't have complete control over Gear 5th, and if we're gonna go along with the belief that Zoro is Mihawk is Zoro's bar that he's gonna get to, I don't think Luffy is there yet. He might be close, but he's not there yet. In terms of the matchup thing for Nami and Crocodile that y'all were mentioning, I do think that we have to assume that Crocodile, we can't fault him for pre-time skip stuff where there wasn't hockey. He lost to the main character of the show. We have to assume that he has, hockey at this point, right? So even though, Nami might cancel out his devil fruit to a certain extent, I still believe like his, armor and hockey should be strong enough. And as much as I love Nami, I think we haven't seen any like defense feats from Nami, right? Like, has Nami ever taken like a major hit? Like, I don't think she ever has. And I think in this kind of fight, yeah, go ahead, Seth.
Oh, she's taken damage in almost every one-on-one, and in regards to whether it was from an elite or, but like what's her name? The girl with the blue hair stabbed through her. Khalifa shocked her
Right, but
or
that was
stabbed
so
through
long
her.
ago. That was like those were all time script, right?
Even now, Ulti was bashing her for a little bit there. She was able to take some of that damage, but go on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She did take hits from ulti. I forgot about that. I'd say for Mihawk, I'm not as like he's Shanks level, but I'm also not agreeing with Larry that oh, look at Marineford, he's trash. I think it's like the truth is somewhere kind of closer to the middle. But I do think at the end of the day, I will take Luffy and Nami extreme diff because yeah, now that I remember the ulti thing, I do think Nami could hold her own in the meantime. And I think actually, sorry, I take that back. I'm gonna take Crocodile and Mihawk extreme diff because I think Luffy isn't where where Mihawk is yet. And I'm not going to go into narrative that like, oh, by the end of the fight he would gain mastery of his Gear 5th and have a Hockey Bloom and then he'd be able to beat him. And then I also think Crocodile is stronger than Nami. So I think both people on this side are stronger than both people on the other side. So therefore, I think I do agree that Luffy will maybe in defense of his Nakama will fight harder. But I do think at the end of the day, and they have more combat or chemistry just because they fought Cracker together and Crocodile and Mihawk, we haven't seen them fight together, but I do think at the end of the day, Extreme Diff, they'll win just because they're both stronger than the other two opponents.
All right, that's fair. Whoever. Oh, CD.
Luffy, Nami, low div. The reason is because low, hands down. Because literally Nami can just ride Zeus, make rain clouds, literally get rid of Crocodile's sand abilities, not make him able to fly up to her or anything like that. What's Crocodile gonna do after that? She's up in the air. And then Nami's just gonna hit him with a lightning bolt or something like that. And then Luffy definitely could take Mihawk if he gets into 5th gear. Simple as that. It's low diff. Nothing else. They win.
Are you allowed to contend? Wait, sorry to interrupt. Are you allowed to contend other people's points, like go against them and stuff like that, or do you just have to stay muted?
No, you can contend. You can contend if you have a counterpoint. By all means. I
think Luffy is above Mihawk right now. I think Luffy is ahead of everybody in his crew. I don't think him and Zoro are equal. And I think the fact he defies common sense, he would just end up coming out on top against Mihawk, who we haven't really seen a lot from. Luffy beat Kaido. Whether you like it or not, he beat Kaido, who would beat Mihawk. Shanks said it himself. If it's a 1-on-1 bet on Kaido, he's beaten someone stronger than Mihawk, so I don't understand how he wouldn't beat him.
But you're taking that out of context. He didn't just beat Kaido straight up, which we've talked about, right? All the the damage before, he wasn't taking him seriously first,
Yeah, but he ended up taking it seriously at the end. He took it serious at the end. I just don't see Mihawk beating Luffy as Luffy is right now. I think he's above. I think he's entirely underrated when it comes to strength because of other Straw Hats like Zoro and Sanji.
I would say I'm gonna do some contending here. So first and foremost, I don't know if Mihawk is truly very far above Luffy, and we've seen people take on stronger opponents and still win. Secondly, and this is my big gripe because I've heard a lot of people say it, Nami cannot ride Zeus. It is not something she can do. It was stated on Whole Cake Island, the only person that can ride Zeus or use any of the other homies in that way is Big Mom because they are made with a piece of Big Mom's soul. Zeus has no piece of Nami's soul within him, so she cannot ride him. That was clearly stated as how the power works in the manga. Nami cannot ride on Zeus. That's not how that works. She can still create water and drench Crocodile, keep him from flying up. And I mean, honestly, because only one has to go down, Luffy could speed blitz Crocodile and just take him the hell out with a red rock. It wouldn't be all that hard.
Yeah,
but
also
to call it low diff and to assume that it's because Nami can fly around on Zeus is you need some potassium, bro. She can't do it. It's in the manga.
It blows my mind that you think that Nami can't ride on a cloud when people are literally jumping through the sky on air. It's crazy. Nami's gonna find out a way.
She cannot ride on Zeus because that's not how the power works. He has to have a piece of whoever makes that soul with their own is the only person that can ride him. So Zeus wasn't made from Nami's soul. He was made from Big Mom's. Nami can't ride on Zeus.
Why can't
it's
she
not
use
something
him?
she can do. And she has
She
no
literally
power
combo
over
attacks
souls
with
like
him.
Brooks, so she couldn't hurt Zeus either.
She combo
She can
attacks
feed
with
him and
him.
power him up.
She's using him. Why can't she ride on him? Yeah, Big Mom might be one of the only ones, but if Zeus, I'm pretty sure if Zeus is down for Nami to ride on him, he's gonna let her ride on him.
He was down for Nami to ride him on Whole Cake Island. He was down for it, but the fact was that she literally could not. It's in the manga, dude. Go back and read it. Go back and watch the anime. It's explained in the anime too.
Don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I'd have to do some.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead,
Also,
Messier.
if Zeus ends up getting a lightning strike on on a croc while he's using his sand form, wouldn't he just turn to glass? Like, I just, yeah.
So I got a quick
Possibly.
question for Bushido about like, we see Croc. I know you said that like we have to take him post time skip, and I mean of course we do, but like he was so Devil Fruit reliant, and I know that's pre time skip, but like, what attacks do you envision him doing, like if his Devil Fruit's taken away?
I mean, I guess I don't have like specific attacks. I was just, based on the fact that he's been in the New World for a while. I think we saw it in one of the manga covers for a previous chapter. I feel, just assume that he can have hockey, right? So just even armament hockey and other types of hockey, I think you can. I guess we can't infuse his hockey into any attacks. I'm not going to speculate that far, but just the fact that he has armament hockey and can use that in just regular hand-to-hand combat. That's what I was referring to.
I guess I just don't see Zeus letting Croc get anywhere close to Nami to do any damage whatsoever. Because I just feel like he's just so overpowering for him.
All right. I mean, does anybody else have anything to say? Because I was gonna drop y'all and get another group in. But I really appreciate all y'all's takes.
What chapter's the whole Nami can't ride Zeus thing again, or Pig?
Pig, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Everything's on my phone. I'm going to look that up right now.
Okay, then just message me in the den or something like that.
Yeah, I'll
or
message
put it
you
in
in the den for sure.
in the YouTube chat or something. I think everybody would want to, because I don't remember myself. I don't remember that. But all right, I'll drop you guys in another group. But thank you. Stick around if we do another round here. We can bring you guys back in to discuss. But I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Hey y'all.
Thanks,
So-
guys. Yeah, I'm looking for that panel now to see if she could ride Zeus or not.
Yeah, I don't remember. But next up, we'll get Chestnut because it's a Nami battle. You know how that go. We'll get HG. Ryunosuke was here for a while.
I think it's Pheno.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Ace, you in here, bro. We'll get Quavo. Actually, Quavo looks like he's deafened, so maybe not. And we'll get Human because Human's been here a while, waiting to if he'll let me drag him. 2, 3. I think I need one more. Yeah, Ryunosuke.
I think Pig may be wrong, bro.
I don't know. I mean,
I
I haven't seen it. Oh snap! We got Straw Hat Dash and Dash. Come to the voice chat, man. Pull up. And I'll bring Villain back because he was waiting a while from before. Oh, it says you're deafened, Quavo. All right, I'll bring Quavo in. It's gonna be a large chat, Larry. My fault.
All right, so the only evidence I saw that Pig was stating that Nami can't ride the cloud is very, very debatable. So in chapter 861, page 17, Sanji and Puddin are in a teacup that is sitting on top of Zeus, and they're riding him. But the thing is, Big Mom is right there. So I don't know if we can truly interpret that as like Big Mom either letting Zeus ride people, or the fact is you can actually ride Zeus. I gotta search other things, but I'm hoping Chestnut actually has the chapter. That way we could get confirmation.
Yeah, and I was gonna start with Chestnut because ladies first, and she's the number one Nami stan in the game.
Hi, Chestnut.
I was gonna.
Yo, what's up? I've been watching the entire time, mind you. Also, I need to just make one thing clear. I never said Nami can beat King and Queen at once. I don't know where this came from. There's no evidence. Like, I don't understand why people keep saying that. I never said that. It's like people try to make my argument sound more and more extreme. It's like, oh yeah, Chestnut said that Nami can eat an entire world and beat Goku, and I'm like, what is this? No, I didn't.
Yo, can she though?
Crazy.
Could she? Oh,
although she got them Soul Eater powers because she really did steal my heart. But
oh my god,
nah. So Nami is able to touch Zeus though, like that. I know the anime episode where she was physically able to hold Zeus, and Zeus said, "Hey, please stop! You're hurting me." Meaning that if she's able to touch Zeus and hurt Zeus, there's no reason why she can't sit on top of Zeus. That just wouldn't make any sense. Why can she physically hold Zeus and squeeze Zeus in her hands and not sit on him? Zeus has shown though that he has completely put his loyalties to Nami at this point. But I don't even need to argue with Nami. Nami's pretty much irrelevant in this fight. Gear 5th Luffy just solos. I don't even know why this is an argument. I mean, especially when we see like Luffy's with Kaido. Nah, because here's the thing. At the end of the Kaido fight, like before Luffy was able to turn Gear 5, the amount of Conqueror's Haki and just the raw attack power that Kaido and Luffy were going, the speed at which they're going at, we have not seen feats from Crocodile, which Luffy could just speed blitz and beat, to be honest. Like just speed blitz and beat as Nami stays aside. And also from Mihawk, where
hold on, Ace, you gotta let her talk.
You can't
Sorry.
But also from Mihawk, like where are his speed feats that are going to compete with Luffy and Kaido? And the addition of Gear 5 and Berjugun, whatever it's called. I mean, how Luffy's taken both of them out at the same time. Nami can sit on the side or go like hop on Luffy's back while he just uses a Gear 5 Berjugun and just takes both of them out. There's no durability feat that is going to put Mihawk above Luffy. There's no speed feat that's going to put Mihawk above Luffy. We haven't seen any Haki feats that put Mihawk above Luffy. And from Crocodile, Luffy was able to beat him pre-time skip. With Haki, is it even a debate that he's going to be able to outspeed him? He was outspeeding him and getting to him at Marineford. So, and this is a person who was going up against Admirals and Doflamingo, and he was able to get to Crocodile and stop him before Whitebeard could. I don't even. I just think that Gear 5 Luffy right now is so overpowered that there just isn't there just isn't a debate with these characters that have no feats. The only characters that you can put in the same realm as Luffy are the characters that Kaido stated, Kaido and the other two emperors. Because they're kind of in the same realm, which is Big Mom and Blackbeard. You can't really put Buggy, although Buggy Gang. So yeah, I just don't see. To me, to even say that Mihawk is stronger than Luffy is baffling, considering that we just because it's Zoro's main antagonist doesn't mean that Mihawk is going to be stronger than Luffy. That's like saying, oh well, Zoro was able to go one round with Kaido. It's like, yeah, well, Luffy was able to go 5 rounds with Kaido. So at this point, we could say technically Luffy is has 5 times the durability of Zoro, meaning that yeah, maybe it's endgame and maybe Zoro gets stronger and Mihawk is going to be a good rival to Zoro. Zoro ain't touching Luffy just because he's a swordsman. Luffy can just solo by himself. I'll put mid diff just to be kind, but this is just crazy. Gear 5 Luffy is just too powerful. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
All right, we'll go with Ace because Ace had there.
Okay, I don't really think that Mihawk. He is strong. I feel like we can't take that away from him. And Zoro is always going to be that burner of proof of exactly where Mihawk has to be. And I don't think it's just like 1 tier above. I think it's like 2 or 3 at least at this moment in the story. And my main thing is like Luffy he's Gear 5 now. He is overpowered and things like that. But we've seen a strong ass Yonko lose to a 2v1. The thing like Mihawk, he has that direct counter or kryptonite to Luffy's ability where he can't, like, Luffy's susceptible to slashes. I don't think it'll be out of the realm of possibility to say that what do you call it again? Mihawk has their haki abilities enough to injure Luffy. I wouldn't say like take him down per se, but when it comes down to Crocodile and Nami, the reason what makes it hard is like Nami has the weather ability, so that is a counter to Crocodile's abilities. But I kind of see it as the way Green Bull said, where like when people figured out his weakness, I wouldn't be so surprised that Crocodile figured out a way to limit his weakness when it comes to his actual weakness. And the guy is like the first commander to Mihawk, even though Buggy is the head of Yonko, but it's really Mihawk's leading the thing. And then you have Crocodile as the second commander. I think Crocodile can take out Nami before Luffy takes out Mihawk. That's why I think that Luffy, Crocodile, and Mihawk can take this win. Crocodile, like Nami, I would say her battle IQ is up there. But the thing is, we always said that Haki reigns above all, and we've seen no Haki feats from Nami whatsoever. So I feel like that is going to come to play in a battle where Crocodile is fighting, and Mihawk and Luffy, like Mihawk, even though it was a long time ago, he was rivaling Shanks, and I don't think, bro, Shanks he grew up on a crew with Roger and what's that guy's name again? His right hand, Rayleigh, things like Scott Goban, those type of people, and we've seen how much Rayleigh improved Luffy within a year and a half in his training. Like first year and a half, Rayleigh was teaching Luffy everything, and then 6 months, Luffy was just taking care of everything himself, like and doing conditioning and things of that nature. I wouldn't be surprised that Shanks's hockey feats back then when he was clashing with Mihawk was really high up there, probably the same as where Luffy is right now. And Mihawk was able to rival that type of character. I'm not saying that Mihawk is stronger than Shanks. I would say that he's that much weaker than him though, and he has a direct counter to Luffy's ability. Yes, Luffy entered Gear 5, but I don't see that playing that much of an effect on Mihawk, and the thing about with Chestnut, I agree with that. We haven't seen much feats from Mihawk, but the thing is, like, can we even name one fight where Mihawk was taking any of them seriously? Even Marineford, he was there, but he was so nonchalant about it. I don't really think he cared about it. I didn't see him go all out against anyone. So I feel like we still haven't seen Mihawk's proper feats. We haven't even seen a hockey feat from Mihawk yet, but we're not gonna sit here and say that he doesn't have it. So with all that in mind, I think Crocodile and Mihawk can clutch the win. But it'll be extreme diff.
Extreme diff. Okay.
Can I just do a very quick response? This is going to be 3 seconds. To the Nami and Crocodile thing, let's be honest. Crocodile hasn't shown any hockey feats, and Nami has more feats canonly in manga with hockey than Crocodile. So I don't think that you can just say, oh, well, he probably has it. We just haven't seen it. To the point that Luffy is weak to slashing attacks, he is. But in Gear 5, I don't think it really matters. He's just going to turn things to rubber. Could he even turn swords to rubber? We've seen him turn everything to rubber, so why couldn't he turn a sword into rubber? Also, I just don't think it's fair to say that Mihawk is as strong as a Gear 5 Luffy, who quite literally has reality manipulation that it can turn it can give things the property of rubber while having the property still of something else. And we see this with the lightning feet. We see this when he's able to turn the air underneath his feet into rubber while simultaneously keeping it air. I just don't like we have a character who basically just has like world breaking feats, and then Mihawk is a character that doesn't have any. So just to say, oh well, like that, like this and that, it's like we just you can't say, oh well he could have like world breaking feats too. It's like, yeah, well, and Nami could be outer versal, but I'm not like, you can't. That's speculation and probably isn't going to happen, especially because we know Mihawk doesn't have a devil fruit. So it would have to be purely hockey based alone. And as we saw in the Kaido and Luffy fight, Luffy's not only having advanced forms of hockey and being able to merge multiple forms of hockey, his devil fruit is entirely overpowered. That's it. That's my piece.
I did say that Mihawk beats Luffy. I said Mihawk can hold off Luffy long enough for Crocodile to figure it out Nami's thing. And the thing about Mihawk as well, the thought literally slipped my mind, sorry, but yeah, I'll just leave it as that Mihawk, he can hold off Luffy for as long as he needs to. And we've seen other people with devastating attack power devil fruits, but people were still able to fight them. Like Whitebeard, he had the Guru no Mi. Even though yes, he'll beat characters like Kaido and stuff like that if he was healthy and the battle went on long enough. But it's not impossible for characters to hold off these people and have like a solid fight against him. And my question to Chestnut is, this is the last thing I say, is do you, like the way you're talking right now, do you think Luffy's the top in the verse? No one else can chat to him.
He's one of the top in the verse right now. The only people that can meet up to him at this point are the Admirals, who all have devil fruit powers, and unknown hockey feats that we don't really know. Blackbeard, who we know is just going to be insanely overpowered as endgame villain, and also Shanks, because we've seen that his hockey basically acts as a way to counter other hockey. But in the end, let's be honest, Luffy has better feats at the moment than every single character in the verse. If you can name me a single feat that Mihawk has that could put him anywhere close to the level of Luffy versus Kaido, and I mean also like everybody likes to downplay. Oh well, Luffy lost to Kaido multiple times. Kaido also fell down multiple times too. So and we can bring that into the argument. Luffy was able to beat Kaido. Kaido would destroy Mihawk. Like Kaido is the strongest creature alive. In a one-on-one bet on Kaido, in Kaido versus Mihawk, Kaido's winning. So I just don't see it.
I mean, I'm not willing to die on this hill. I'm just saying that Mihawk, we still haven't seen proper feats from him. So I'll concede that point to you guys.
Okay. All right. Who man? You've been waiting a while. How's it going? Who you got? What diff and why? Who man? It's Soja that you've unmuted, but I can't. Can y'all hear him?
No, we can't hear him.
Oh, yeah. Who? It says you're unmuted, but we can't hear you if you're talking. All right, we'll skip Who man for now. See if you get that worked out, and we'll. Ryu, I just heard you, bro. What's up?
Oh no, I didn't hear you. You cut out before you said it. I didn't hear a name. My bad.
That's my fault.
I think it's the Straw Hats. It's a low to mid diff. To what Ace said, I don't think it's gonna be Mihawk stalling for Crocodile. I think it's just gonna be Luffy stalling for Nami, because I think Nami at the moment solos Crocodile. The rain is just a direct counter. The lightning's gonna be strong enough just to knock him out. Also, before the other guy mentioned it, I also already wrote down the lightning could probably just turn him to glass as well.
True.
But
I think it's fair to say that Nami hard counters Crocodile. But go on.
I also think that Luffy can basically use Gear 5 whenever. We don't know the drawbacks yet, so I'm not gonna try and speculate any of those. We know there are drawbacks, but I'm not gonna bring them up yet. But I think it's like any other awakening. You awaken it once, and you can just use it whenever you want. We've already seen him, kind of do the big muscles like he did last time when he was fighting Kaido. So I think he just has the capabilities of using Gear 5 whenever. It's probably gonna be the same thing like Gear 4, where he's had it since he was training with Rayleigh back in post time skip, but he just never used Gear 4 to address Rosa. It's gonna be the same thing. He's only gonna bring out Gear 5 when he needs it. But yeah, I just think Nami solos Crocodile, and through that they just win.
Can I just ask one question?
Go ahead, Ace.
When Luffy clocked Crocodile's weakness, right? He clocked the weakness, and now he was able to hit him hard enough to knock him down. I'm not saying that Nami doesn't figure out things of weakness, but what type of does Nami have enough attack power to put down Crocodile in one move? Because I don't think Crocodile is just allowing Nami to hit him. Even if he clocks her weakness, I never denied that he clocks her weakness. I mean, she clocks his weakness, but I'm saying the Haki feats is inside. Well, not the feats, but we know Crocodile has Haki and Nami doesn't. So even if she clocks his weakness, does she have the enough attack power at one moment to put him down? I don't think so. I feel like Crocodile is faster than her. Well, not faster than her. I'm not sure about that. We've seen Nami move pretty fast, even though it's gag spot. We've seen her move pretty fast, but I feel like Crocodile can get to her enough and put down, basically beat her up enough for her to get put down, even if she clocks his weakness. We've seen people clock other people's weakness inside the show, and it does play a factor, but not that much. Not too long ago, we saw Momo using fire against Green Bull. Then we find out Green Bull he has like a counter to it somehow. I feel like users in the One Piece world, like once they figure out a weakness of them or the weakness got clocked out after the fight is over, they find a way to kind of patch that up or work around it, if you know what I mean. But that's the last thing I'll say. I've been talking too much.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but we haven't really seen him, actively try and create a counter to the water. So we can't say for sure he has something like that. And also, I
Yeah,
don't
but
think.
like, so do you think Nami has something like she counters him? I can see that point. I know that, but she has enough attack power to put him down before Crocodile can get to her.
She doesn't need to. She has the range. She won't be able to do anything once he gets wet. He won't use any of his powers, and from range, she can just hit him with.
Range attacks is not a weakness to Crocodile. We've seen him. He was in the middle of the battlefield. He stopped, I think, getting shanked. We've seen him go to Whitebeard as soon as, even though but Luffy stopped him, we've seen him go directly to Whitebeard as soon as he got onto the battlefield. Like, Crocodile's able to go a long distance pretty fast himself.
Yeah,
Yes,
Ace.
but
Hold on.
mostly-
Ace. Let them just talk for now, bro. It's too much going back and forth and not getting everybody else. So Ryunosuke, say your point, bro.
Yeah, that was I was basically saying anything, but the last thing, he usually used his fruit to do all of that. When he gets wet, he won't be able to use his fruit, so I think
Yeah.
she still got the range. But yeah, that's it. That's on me.
Yeah. Who did you go with? You said
I went Straw Hats, low to mid diff.
Okay. All right. Villain?
All right. I was gonna get Quavo
Oh,
because
Quavo?
Quavo hasn't spoken yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Let
my
Quavo
bad,
go.
Villain. Yeah.
If you want to go first, you can. Don't matter to me.
Nah, he said you could go.
So to me, this is one of those fights that if you have the same fight 10 times, both sides are winning 5. I think it's so even. But I think Crocodile and Mihawk got this. Mainly just because this isn't a fight of Mihawk versus Luffy to me. This is just a fight of Crocodile versus Nami. And Crocodile, the stuff he did in Marineford, which was, I don't even know how many chapters ago, I feel like he had to have gone faster, more durable, stronger. Like, he cut a Kainu in half. He was fast enough to stop. I mean, I know the dudes that were about to kill Ace are fodder, but he stopped them fast enough to avoid that from happening. And I think that alone is a pretty solid speed feat. And I just think if they were on the battlefield, I don't know what Nami's going to do. I think he's too fast for her. And at the end of the day, I just think he's more durable. I know she's a hard counter, but I think because he's a Logia and just he's gone through these battles, like his body, like this is gonna sound weird, but he's just strong. And I think he's just too durable for her. She's gonna have all like the water attacks, the lightning, Zeus, whatnot. But I don't know if she can hold out long enough because I don't think Mihawk and Luffy are that big of a gap as Chestnut says. Like, she's acting like Luffy's top one in the verse, which isn't a bad take, but I think they're pretty comparable. I think I still have Mihawk over him, but that's a whole different discussion. But I don't think they're that far away that they're going to even matter in this fight. It's just going to come down to Crocodile and Nami. And I think he's just going to speed blitz her, stop her, whatever she's doing. I mean, Nami's durable. I will give her that. She tanked a lot in Wano. But if Crocodile's being relentless and not playing with her, like Page 1 and Ulti, like they were having fun with her and Usopp, they were just messing around. Big Mom showed up, whatever. I think if Crocodile was really going after her, I don't know if she'd be able to withstand all that. So, yeah, that's what I got.
All right. Villain? Oh, did you count his vote, Seb? I think Seb disconnected. All right, who do you got, Nick? You got Mihawk and Crocodile, you said?
Yeah, like extreme high def.
All right, so it's going to be 6-4. I'll tell Seb when he reconnects. What about you, Villain?
I calmed down a lot after Chestnut's rant. I'm not going to lie. I've never heard her cape for Nami so hard, but the Nami disrespect is crazy. I honestly don't even think that like Mihawk is attacking Luffy faster than like Nami smokes Crocodile. And we can disrespect Crocodile for not having Haki proven yet, and we haven't seen it. He hasn't done anything. But like my biggest thing, attack power from Nami, right? We saw her absolutely smack the hell out of Big Mom, right, with the lightning attack. If you're telling me that Crocodile tanks that and is just like casually like attacking her, that's fine, right? Luffy is definitely dodging Mihawk. Like he's smart enough to know that Mihawk is a swordsman. He can maybe his hockey is strong enough to slice up Luffy, right? I still put Luffy in a completely different tier than Mihawk. He's above Mihawk to me, but like I think he's smart enough to just avoid Mihawk's attacks and like at a Marineford level, right? Like we said Mihawk wasn't taking him seriously, right? Mihawk can take Luffy seriously now and still not get a lick. He's not getting a hit off. Luffy is too fast for him, right? So I feel like Luffy is smart enough to just double team Crocodile. I mean, just based off of no speed feats from Mihawk right now, like we can't say he's really like pressing Luffy that aggressively. We can't say he's definitely getting that close to Nami because I'm just assuming she's staying separated this entire time. She's probably the smarter out of this group, right? There's no way that anyone avoids her attack powers. If she wants to hold off Mihawk with an attack, I think she has the attack power for it. Right, but I think that it is the matchup between Luffy and Mihawk and Crocodile and Nami. Nami can not only hold off Crocodile, but I don't think that Luffy's dumb enough to just allow him to do the one-on-one. Right, I feel like they're going to jump Crocodile before Mihawk can actually get an attack off on Luffy. I give it Luffy and Nami 100% mid-div. And I was a lot angrier until she started ranting. I was upset I got brought in after Chestnut just because she went off, and I was just like, all right, bro, my fault. I let her do the thing. It was the comment she made in the chat about like just because Mihawk is Zoro's end goal does not mean that that's comparable to Luffy is 100% a fact. I don't remember who said it earlier, but they said that like Zoro's gonna get to Kaido level, Yonko level. I don't see that happening because like Roger, I'll assume Luffy's getting to Roger's level. I don't see Rayleigh being on Kaido's level. I don't think Prime Rayleigh is smoking what we just saw at Kaido. Is that a crazy take?
A little bit, in my opinion.
Prime Rayleigh taking on
crazy,
what
bro.
we just saw at Kaido.
I don't know.
I think he could fight him for sure.
I think he could fight him. I don't think he's winning.
Yeah, it depends.
But no, I gotta give it Luffy Nami. Mid diff.
Mid diff. All right, so it's 7-4. When Seb comes back, I guess we'll do that. Everybody went so far, right? Or did Human go?
No, Human didn't go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up?
Oh, there you are.
Good. I apologize. I don't use Discord, so I don't know what to.
No, it's okay.
I'd say I might be controversial. I might say Mihawk and Crocodile might get it, just because since the stipulation of you gotta take one person out to really win. Like it, even if like Nami gets like a rain tempo off or like it just anything, like she still got to deal with like Crocodile. So I don't think she's really handling that. And I think the combination of Mihawk and Crocodile could hold off a Gear 5th Luffy. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but, probably still like Mihawk, Crocodile, high diff.
Okay, so it's 7-5, Seb.
It's 7-5. All right, my bad. I like dropped. I got disconnected with my internet. Okay, it's a close one. Larry, did you give your take yet?
No, I didn't. I'm gonna be real. I kind of don't want to go because
You want me to go first?
Chestnut has her guns out, and it's a little intimidating, especially what I'm about to say. So,
Yo, man up, bro.
She's the only one that my Conqueror's hockey just gets a little weaker, you know. What I will say is, I do not know who to pick. I was sitting listening to everybody, accumulating some thoughts, and I'm still indecisive because I have this huge thing with Mihawk not really living up to his name, and also I think he's a bit fraudulent to an extent. But I also see how like the Luffy and Nami combo is so good in comparison to the other two. I mean, if you ever played Pokemon, you just know that lightning's stronger than like land. Like land's weaknesses is like lightning. That just makes sense. She would definitely turn Crocodile into glass. But the thing is, when I did some further research, it kind of takes her a while to accumulate those clouds the dark clouds to put into Zeus to get to a point where like he struck down on Big Mom the way she did. The one thing I think that decides this fight, which is crazy, I think it is Crocodile. And I think the reason why it's Crocodile is because Crocodile could probably dry out the air that's surrounding the fight to the point where like Nami wouldn't be able to make a strong enough attack to hit Crocodile with. Like she wouldn't be able to produce the rain clouds she would need in order to feed Zeus because he could probably dry the air out. Now that's just pure speculation on my part because he's never been able to do that except when he did those like tornadoes. But as we know, when we went to Alabasta, there was absolutely no clouds at all. And that was impartial to what he was doing because it was even said that in Alabasta, they never used the rain clouds that were illegal. It was just suspected that they were using it, but it was really Crocodile just drying out the lands. Also, Pig Hudson is right regarding like Zeus saying that only Big Mom could ride her, but we also see in like 2 other chapters where Puddin is literally sitting on Zeus, and Luffy is also touching Zeus, and Sanji and Puddin are also riding Zeus. But every time somebody else is riding Zeus, Big Mom is there. And the only time Zeus says he can't let somebody else ride him is when Big Mom is not there. So, as I always say, Oda be lying all the time. And that's what it is. So, I don't know who to pick. I kind of want to pick both. But I think if Crocodile could dry out the air, then I think it's Mihawk and Crocodile.
Can I just add a very small point to your point about charging up? So here it is, chapter 1016, Larry. And if you look, Zeus is actually no longer like actually in his cloud form. Zeus is the baton, so so he can just take the clouds from it. Can you see this?
No, you can't.
You can't.
I can search it up.
See it.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
search it up.
so it's chapter 1016, page 10, where we're seeing the ending of the Ulti and Nami fight, where he basically is just able to get, so anything that's in the baton, Zeus has access to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So to your point of just charging up and making rain clouds, she technically doesn't have to do it anymore because Zeus is the baton. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry.
Well, I forgot, but can she just throw a lightning bolt from the baton itself immediately?
Yes. Yeah. So
she's done it
actually in that So in that chapter that I just linked, she actually does that against Ulti, where Zeus is just able to use all of the climate baton stuff like instantly, and it's like 10 times more powerful than what we saw her do in against Ulti before. So if you actually compare, I think it's chapter 1013 and 1016, where we see the 2 different attacks. We see Nami do a lightning attack, and it's powerful, and then we see Zeus do the same lightning attack. It's just as fast, and it's insanely more powerful because Zeus is in control of the entire baton. Sorry, I don't mean to keep talking.
No. I think the more evidence to point out which happens is better. I guess for me right now, my hard thing is I don't know how much of that is being manipulated around the weather around Nami, like the air around Nami. Like, is Zeus feeding himself at that point with the climate attack? Like, even when she was storing up whatever Zeus can use within the climate attack, like, did she do that before the battle or was it during the battle? It's like, let's say like she's not preemptively setting up herself to do strong attacks and she just has to do it on the go. Like, if Crocodile dries out the air, like, is Zeus going to be affected? I have no idea.
So in that in the Nami and Ulti fight, Zeus is like, she doesn't charge up anything. Like, Zeus is just able to use those attacks. To the point of like rain, is very interesting because she was still able to do it when he was, so back in Alabaster, she was still able to use her climate attack, even though technically a Crocodile was drying out the air. So it's kind of a thing of, did Crocodile get stronger in that regard? We haven't seen that. But she has been able to use her weather stuff when he was drying out the climate, which we did see in Alabaster, which is why it couldn't rain. That was because of his devil fruit power. So it's kind of a thing of, is Crocodile stronger, and can we say that he's stronger specifically in that regard? It's very hard to say, and at that point, it kind of comes down to speculation.
I think this is the most speculative fight that we're ever gonna have right now.
Probably.
I think it truly. I think this is the reason why it's the hardest and the closest. I have no idea at all. I have no idea.
It's funny you say that, Larry, because I'm in the same boat. I have no idea who to choose.
Just pick Vietnam, bro.
That's right. Villain's spitting, man. Villain's spitting.
No, man.
I have no idea.
I can't just.
No, I
I'm in
agree.
my head back and forth because it's like, so the way I look at it is, would Oda bring Crocodile back into the? Can y'all not hear me?
No,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear.
We can hear you. Okay.
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah, we can hear him.
Yeah, the way I look at it is, would Oda bring Crocodile back into the story if he can't even beat Nami in a fight? Like, I know I'm a matchups guy, but like, what's the point of bringing that character back if he's gonna lose to like the 6th, 7th strongest character, like Straw Hat? You know, and like, I just don't envision that. I'm a huge matchups person. Nami is a terrible matchup for Crocodile. But the Crocodile we saw in Marineford seemed to be slightly elevated from what we saw with him in Alabasta. And he does have attacks that could straight up just end Nami. We brought it up earlier with the moisture sucking. I can't remember the name of the attack. It's killing me. What he did to Luffy and what he tried to do to what he was going to do to Vivi and stuff. But at the same time, Zeus is such a huge buff where she can fight with just Zeus, and she'd probably be able to defeat Crocodile at the same time. So it's like, I don't know. In regards to Luffy versus Mihawk, where I scale Mihawk myself, or where I envision that he's going to be, I think a fight with him and Luffy is going to be elongated. I don't think it's a quick fight. I don't think Luffy's able to just dog walk Mihawk in that way. I think it's a banger of a fight. I do think Luffy's stronger. Right now, I think he would win if they were to fight. But he is, like people have pointed out in the chat, he's still, even in Gear 5th, he was getting hurt by slashing attacks that Kaido sent out. I assume slashing attacks that Mihawk is dishing out are going to be on an entirely different level. So I think both of these fights are high to extreme diff for either opponent. It's just a matter of who gets the dub first, because the Luffy versus Mihawk is going to be a very drawn out fight, in my opinion. And I heard everything that y'all said, and I was pacing back and forth in my mind as far as who I think would win. And I think I'm going to give the edge to Luffy and Nami. And it hurts me because Crocodile is my boy, man. That is my guy. You feel me? And everything in my mind is telling me there's no way Nami could really beat him. But the matchup is, she can do a lot that directly affects his capabilities. And also, if we went to a tie, it wouldn't matter. You know, like that doesn't help anybody. So I think I'm gonna go with Luffy and Nami. Go ahead, Ace.
With Nami, I'm not doubting her attack powers are potent, but are we really saying that like Crocodile just standing in one place and taking on these attacks? He's not dodging them. He's not trying to move away from them.
I think he's gonna. I think that fight is gonna be crazy interesting. Just how it would go down, because either one, Crocodile is just way stronger than her, and he blitzes her and uses the moisture suck, and it's over. But like Zeus is gonna prevent that from happening. You know what I mean? In my mind, like I see that happening. He is a Lagia. He does have separation capabilities that Nami's not great at. But like Zeus also can like actively attack on his own. Even like heat-seeking missile kind of stuff, where like he can track and pace at Crocodile's probably pace. So it's like it's hard, man. Like I was really in my head about it, because again, man, like in my head, there's no way Oda would bring Croc back if he can't even beat Nami. Like y'all think you know what I mean?
Listen to what Larry says, bro. Hockey overall at the end of the day, and
but who's more likely to have hockey? You know what I mean? Like a rejuvenated Croc or Nami. So
Crocodile. Wow. How Nami hasn't even shown hockey yet.
That's Ace, man. You can't say that. You can't speculate. Also, there's been like that recent joke with Nami and the Conqueror's hockey. Like, yeah, it's a gag until it's not with Oda. You know what I mean? So like you can say, oh well, Crocodile's definitely gonna have like this insane hockey. But what if he's being brought back in a story? I'm just gonna go very, very quickly into a theory. I think the reason he's being brought back in the story is because of Pluton. I think that that's going to be the reason that he's going back, and that the Cross Guild will be the first people to get an ancient weapon, and I think that's his narrative significance rather than just like straight power. So I see your point, because I think that he's obviously going to be stronger because he's a part, like Oda brought him back and put him on the same pedestal as somebody like Mihawk, which I don't think he's as strong as Mihawk. But in my head, I'm seeing the archaeologist Crocodile, the matchup between, like, honestly, I think a matchup between Crocodile and Robin is happening in the manga, and I think that that's going to happen. It's going to be really interesting. Is it going to be like a full blown fight? Could definitely be, and that I feel like that'd be really interesting. Just from that archaeology standpoint, especially what happened in Alabaster with Pluton. Sorry, I didn't mean to theorize.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm gonna go Luffy and Nami. And it hurts me to do it, but I'm gonna go there just because I'm a matchup guy. And at the end of the day, Nami is just a bad matchup for Crocodile, even if he is probably stronger than her in my own headcanon. Also because my internet went out and I'm currently using my hotspot to be here, so I might need to end the stream soon. So,
there's one thing I wanted to say too is that Prometheus and Zeus can't be hurt by armament hockey.
That is true.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't
Also, yeah, like Zeus in that ulti panel was just able to not only blitz ulti, but also to just go through all of her defenses with elemental powers.
Right.
So.
I'm saying ulti is not even stronger than Crocodile's.
Crocodile's just a bomb.
She's probably more durable than
She's
Crocodile.
definitely more durable.
Right? Like, she's the ancient Zoan, and a dinosaur, he's a Sandman. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also part of the Yonko crew.
And so is Crocodile. He's number 2 on our Yonko crew.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Big Mom attack though.
He's technically number 3.
I'm not gonna say anything to that.
Buggy's a figurehead, bro. He's not a number. He's just that.
That's what they want you to think, bro.
Right. Unless we want to bring another crew in. Like I said, Larry, I have spotty internet. I'm using hotspot right now to be back on.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much longer I can go without blowing my phone up.
Yeah.
So I might have to drop. If you want to continue, you can.
This is your thing, bro. You decide.
I say we probably end it here, because then we just have the one finals matchup for next week, and then we'll go into the Legends bracket. Which would be a whole lot of fun. But I really appreciate all you guys stopping by and giving your takes today. It was really interesting. Some of these matchups were tough, I'll be honest. I really didn't know who to go with, and this was another one. So with that said, our final matchup of the tournament is going to be Luffy and Nami versus Kizaru and Fujitora. Can the Sun God pull it off while carrying his navigator? That's the question. Could Luffy fight 2 Admirals while protecting Nami? I don't know. We'll have to decide next week. But hopefully you guys are all here for that one.
Chestnut's gonna find a way for Nami to manipulate light, and I'm gonna be here for it. Watch.
I'm gonna be here for it
I'm
too.
here for it, bro.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Did you want to see my haircut without my thing really quick, Larry?
Yeah. Hey,
let's go.
I'm so jealous. I need hair. You should have gave whatever you cut off to me. You know what I'm saying?
What?
I said you should have gave whatever you cut off to me so I could put some of my
yeah, I got 3 inches cut off today, but I had to start looking like pre-times get Nami.
You actually do look like the chick a little bit from the Netflix show when we saw her in person. You remember, Seb? I think her name
Emily?
was Emily,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. She's also like 5'3", something like that.
What I'm saying, it's that Nami power, man.
All right. Yo, Villain, we gotta find a topic, man. We gotta go back and forth with one, bro.
Yo, fat.
Yeah.
Fat.
Oh, before you go, what's your dog's
Go.
names?
Oh, this one is Ember.
Uh-huh.
Like a flame. And then this one is actually Villain. He's the one I got my Discord name from.
So cute, man.
That is a fire name for a dog, bro.
Appreciate it.
Nah,
I've been wreaking havoc the entire time in the background. I probably would have chimed in on other people's conversations and got yelled at by Larry.
It's okay. All right,
Hey man, we gotta have you come back for one of these, man, for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm doing my best. I've been like trying to hop on the watch parties and stuff, but like I don't want to just start doing stuff and start yelling things. The only question I ever asked in the Discord was during the watch party was like, how far do you think Shanks is from Luffy right now? I just want to know.
We'll talk about it. But Seb, I guess we'll get it going. Thank you guys. Appreciate you so much. Ace, Nick, Chestnut, Villain, Ryonosuke, Human. Arigato.
See you guys.
See you later. Bye bye.
Have a good night, y'all.
Yeah. That was so dope. I love having everybody here. Such
Yeah.
a good time.
I realized midway through doing this, I cannot debate power scaling at all. Like I heard Chestnut talking, and I was like, "Damn, I think I'm stupid." Like I got nothing to say.
You just have to be confident in your point.
Like I thought about
did
like the matchup, and I was like, "All right, I think Mihawk and Croc got it." And then I was like, "But what's the reason?" And I couldn't think of anything. I was like,
Sometimes
"Damn."
you gotta go with gut feeling, bro. Larry, did you end the stream?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. All right,
All
Nick and Chess, I'm gonna just slide you under.
Yes, I'll just go under.
As well.
Yeah.
And
Oh, did I take
you know,
myself
food is a very serious topic for Luffy.
So?
I took myself out, bro.
You took yourself out, bro?
Yeah, I did. Hold on, guys. Let me put the screen
doing,
back
bro?
up. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I was bugging.
Terrible.
Yeah, my
You
bad.
just slide yourself.
Put myself on accident. You know what it was? It was because Nick left before I could like do anything. But yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody again. Another successful episode 10. Another episode of Sebastian's Davies Dark Tournament. I'm glad everybody had fun with this one. There were some good matchups. Hopefully this isn't too much of a landslide, the finals, but we'll see. But anyway, thank you for keeping it civil. Thank you for joining. If you want to join our Discord, please join the Discord. If you haven't liked the video already, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. A lot of stuff going on in our Discord. We have game nights a lot of the nights. We have time where we just talk and hang out. We have drinking nights as well, if you're above 21. And we also do a lot of great things within our community. So if you haven't been in a Discord lately, believe me, you are definitely missing out. But yeah, that's everything I gotta say. So thank you, Seb, for another one.
Yeah, before we go, I did want to read off a couple of the super chats that we did get during the stream. Sorry that we sometimes can't read them during the stream or while you guys are talking about the topics. It's just hard to do when we have like 5-6 people talking and debating about, the topics. But we got a $13 super chat from Nick. It says, "Hi guys, can't be here tonight, busy, but have a great debate, everyone, and can't wait to listen to all your opinions. Have a great evening." Those are those wholesome super chats. We don't always
especially
get.
when they're not attacking me, bro. It's so good.
Oh man. But thank you so much, Nick. We got a $50 super chat from our guy Celestial Donkey, who was in here representing. He says #Buggy Gang and #Buggy 1v4s. So I'm pretty sure that was for the Buggy matchup earlier that they did end up losing.
Yeah.
But sorry, CD. CD was actively hating /
Actively working.
He was he working?
Yeah, he said he climbed. He climbed down a pole in
He
order
said he
to
slid
like
down
come
a
back.
ladder. I thought he was like stripping or something. I don't know, bro.
Okay, bro.
I don't know.
They have ladders in strip clubs. What are we talking about, bro?
You're trying to tell me you don't think CD's probably a stripper? All the money he got.
The horse mask does make me question. Because it's very close to a teddy bear hat. You know what I'm saying?
It's teddy bear hat vibes, bro. I know you see it anywhere. Anyway, we
We're
did
getting
get
canceled.
a subscription to Nakama from Luffy the Pirate. Thank you so much. Please enjoy all the extra emojis and emotes that you can use now that you are a member of the channel. And then finally, another $5 super chat from Celestial Donkey. It says hashtag ban Shin for trash talking King Buggy. There was a lot of Buggy slander that went down, but I think a lot of people said Buggy Gang afterwards. So I feel like there's some positivity there. But I really do want to thank all of you guys for showing up this Wednesday. It sucks that the Twins couldn't make it this week. We're going to see if we can get them on next week for the finals. Tune in for the finals. I know the matchup might be a little weird. We might do a stipulation.
Yeah,
maybe,
you might have to, bro.
I might have to. We'll see. But
there's no
after
great
that,
matchup for Nami this time.
Yeah. After that one, again, there's going to be the Legends Duo bracket where we add a combatant to whoever wins the finals to take on some of the legends. So it'll be a 3v2 going forward. But it should be a lot of fun. Tune in next week for that. Beyond that, I think tune in for Larry's chapter reaction. Watch Larry's Blackbeard video if you haven't already. And check in for some more Discord fun, man. We're doing a lot of stuff almost daily nowadays. So
yeah,
it's a lot of
basically
fun.
Daily.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dropping a theory video, but it's not going to be on this channel. It's going to be on my personal channel. So I just finished the base layering for the video. The audio's done, all that. I just got to add effects. And you should probably expect that probably right before the topped episode comes out on Monday. So.
Hey. That's awesome, man. Did you announce your your new channel?
No, I
didn't.
didn't.
You did.
No.
I'm
not gonna. No. They know about it. I'm just not gonna drop it because I still have my rap stuff on it, and
oh god.
Yeah, it's like anticipating now. They're like, yo, the rap, but I want to hear that theory too. So, yeah. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again for appreciating us. My name is Larry.
Seb.
This is that One Piece Talk.